High snap, play action. Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone. Number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion. Craven's back to pass. Goes across the middle. Ghostin holds it in. He's going to go to the touchdown to the house. Cravens to Ghostin. Colt, touchdown.
As a tight end, pulls a guard. Bauer finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5. Touchdown, Bowers. Touchdown, Bowie.
And folks, we have history. History at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go. Patomeco with the pass. Rio has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in. 2 tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent.
Good evening from the heart of Arlington, Texas. It's Texas High School Football Friday Night Lights live from UTA Maverick Stadium. This is Pops Arnold bringing you the live action for the Arlington High School Homecoming 2025 as the Colts take on the Weatherford Kangaroos. Welcome to this evening's broadcast. Welcome to Mom on production staff, Daniel running the camera tonight. And to my right, folks, we would like to introduce a legend in Arlington ISD sports broadcasting, my partner for tonight, John Nelson. Welcome to the booth, John. We're glad to have you with Zap Productions.
Doug, it's an honor. I mean, I listen to you guys a lot. Being an ex-Colt, it kind of comes home full circle.
Well, we're very excited to have you with us and look forward to hearing a lot of your expertise and your experience throughout the ball game tonight. We'd like to remind you fans that the pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business needs and budget. Call April or Jason today at 817-265-3346 or go to chapmancornelius.com. John, what are we looking at for the weather tonight here at Maverick Stadium?
Well, for the most part, the skies are a solid blue. There's just a wisp of scattered white clouds. It's 87 degrees, winds out of the southeast at about 6. In support of Colt football, our weather first here, best here, kick 'em Colts.
Presented by C&LC. We appreciate their sponsorship of the weather here tonight. John, it's a far sight different weather, as you can hear maybe in the background, the Arlington High alma mater here being played for the homecoming festivities. John, we had a lot of rain and lightning last week. Our production crew following the Colts up in Flower Mound at Marcus High School last week had an hour-and-a-half delay because of lightning, and then they got shut down after just like a quarter and a half of play, and the game was decided in Arlington's favor. So
a 7-0 victory. Coach Scott Teach said, hey, we'll take it. Game was canceled, but in his mind, it is a 7-0 victory. So the Colts come in at 2-0. You not only had to battle the bad weather, but you had to try to get home after all that.
It was a mess. It was a mess, and it was a lot of waiting. My production crew was at Choctaw Stadium, and we got to start on time. But then with 1:23 left, we had a big lightning strike that sent everybody scurrying. And we waited 2 hours to play another 1:23, and we ended up on the short end of that stick that night. The Colts are gathering on the field right now down by the blow-up Horsehead. They're wearing black tonight. John, looks like a dark green and black pants tonight. It's a special night here for Arlington High Homecoming. Both John and I are alumnus from Arlington High School, and so it's always fun to be able to see the homecoming game, and even greater to be able to bring it to you live. Last year, in this Weatherford game, was out in Weatherford, and it was their homecoming game.
Arlington kind of fortunate to win that game. It came down to the last 2 minutes on the road.
It did. It was very exciting. Zach and I were there. We had trouble with our Wi-Fi. Ended up doing an audio-only broadcast, but what an exciting broadcast it was. to see Coleman Cravens lead the team down the field in those last 2 minutes and put the winning score on the board to ruin the Kangaroos' homecoming last season. So what are we looking for tonight in this game here, in this homecoming 2025 game, John?
Weatherford coming off an impressive 42-41 win at home over Azle. They opened up the year losing to LD Bell. They do average over 30 points a game, averaging 31, but they yield 38. Almost 450 total yards of offense per game. The Colt defense allowing about 250. Their offensive line is massive for Weatherford, averaging about 270, 35 seniors, 37 juniors, and no sophomores for head coach Aubrey Sims. The Colts come in a perfect 2-0, coming off that 7-0 win against Marcus, but they've had their way, Doug, against Weatherford over the last 5 years. Of course, 23-19 last year. They won the last 5 games in this series by an average score of 49-17. But for Arlington High, I would imagine the usual suspects will get a lot of touches, a lot of receiving. Jamar Burton, Jackson Nelson, Kason Brown, of course, Coleman Cravens, Max Revere, and Kalen Wilson. I don't think that'll change the scenario at all against Weatherford.
Yeah, Coleman Cravens is a real dual threat quarterback, John. He seems to pick up as many yards rushing as he does throwing. And so he's going to be giving the Kangaroo defense some fits tonight.
Well, Scott Peach has never had a 3-year starter. He has never had a 3-year starting quarterback until this year. Coleman ran track in the spring. I mean, he's gotten a lot faster. His field savvy. I mean, he's the guy in control, and you can tell he's the go-to guy this year.
Yep, he's the leading passer for the team. 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He averages 7 for 17, about 134 yards a game. So we're really looking. He's a real leader on this team. Like you said, being his 3rd year on the ball club, he's taken up the leadership role. As we look down on the field, you can see on our camera that the teams are lining up to come out for the coin flip, and we're very close to game time action here. So what do you think tonight are some keys of the game, John? What are we going to be looking for?
Well, their quarterback is a junior, Cutter Kennedy. He comes in with a 62% completion rate, likes to throw the ball, has a nice receiving core. Bryant Davis, Jacob Hemphill, a holdover from last year. Their leading receiver, 11 catches, over 200 yards. But it's a case of Arlington's secondary. It wasn't, well, they were up and down the opening game with Mesquite. They allowed a lot of yards through the air. The secondary, I think, has to tighten up a bit to counter this Weatherford offensive attack. Robert Mask, another wide receiver, a senior that's having a nice year for the Kangaroos.
Well, it's set up to be a great ball game tonight, where the weather is beautiful. A big, like I said, a big difference from last week, so we won't have any weather delays here tonight. We've got the stands filling in with a bunch of people wearing the green on this side. The band's in full uniform. I can see the Colt Kickers have their little rocking horses for the traditional horse presentation at halftime. And then, of course, we'll have the festivities of the presentation of the homecoming court and the crowning of a new king and queen here tonight. We're going to bring you that action live during halftime so that you can enjoy every moment with us right here from Maverick Stadium. Really looking forward to this ball game tonight. Looking ahead, Arlington won that game against Mesquite. Here at Maverick Stadium, they won that game at Flower Mound. They'll play Haltom next week here at UTA, and then that starts district action, John. So we're just one game away tonight from starting the district action for the year.
You know, that game last week, Coach Peach said, in a way, it was a playoff game for them. Marcus is a very good team. He had kind of a playoff atmosphere going in, and all things considered, not bad.
The captains are meeting at Big A for Arlington for UTA at the midfield stripe there, and we'll see which team ends up winning the flip and then deciding whether they're going to take the ball or defer to the second half.
As you said, the Colts in solid black pants, dark green jerseys, Weatherford in road white with royal blue helmets with a kangaroo emblem on the side, the Colts with a traditional horseshoe on each side of the solid green Colt helmet.
Here comes the coin flip decision.
Wasting no time, they won it first, Weatherford.
Yep, Weatherford won the coin toss and took it, so that means the Colts will have the ball first out of the gate in the second half. We'll see if Weatherford is primed, like you said, for their explosive offense to come out here and show us what they're made of here this evening.
This is a team last year that went 2-8. They're out of District 3-6A. They did have a ton of Letterman returning. They had 27 returning, 7 on offense, and 5 defensive starters from a year ago. 2 years ago, this team was 500 at 5-5. And 3 years ago, one of their best seasons in recent years, they went 7-3 in a district of Trinity. Bell, Haskell had a nice district campaign at 4-3. So don't take these guys from the West lightly.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to the teams running out of their tunnels here. Let me give you a rundown of some other action we're going to be watching in the area tonight. Last night we had 2 District 8-6A ball games. Martin played Mansfield High School last night, and Martin came out big. It's a palindrome score. Martin 74, Mansfield High School 47. That's a big win for the Warriors. And last night also Grand Prairie beat Irving Nimitz 41-27. And across town, the southeast side, Seguin won over Burleson High School 21-0.
Somebody break up the Cougars. Joe Gordon's a perfect 3-0 for Seguin.
Yep. Good start for them. That action is all on Thursday night as the Colts run out of the tunnel here and the band strikes up Sons of the White and Green. We'll also be watching South Grand Prairie taking on Mansfield Legacy. We'll be watching Bowie at Top L tonight. Lamar High School taking on Mesquite Horn. Sam Houston, it's also their homecoming tonight. They're taking on Irving MacArthur over at Choctaw Stadium. That's also on the ZAP network, as is the Bowie Top L game. And one game that's just of interest to me, John, Dallas Jesuit is playing at Highland Park.
Jesuit off to a tough start, 0-2. Only got a field goal. They're opening the game of the year. Apparently struggling a lot on offense, but that bears close watching.
We just like to watch. Usually we end up playing somebody from that district, either Jesuit or Highland Park.
Over there.
Yeah, and we always play over there. I'll never forget the game that we played over there when it was Coleman Craven's first year. And late in the game, he was trying to get us to get back in the game, and he took off running, and he slid to go down and try to play it safe, but one of the Highland Park players tackled him on the knee, and he was out for the rest of the ball game. So there was no penalty on that play, but it ended Coleman's year, and of course the Colts just bowed out that night anyway. So we're so glad that he's back and healthy and playing for us tonight.
It's been a number of years, Doug, since there's a homecoming game here for AHS. I believe
right.
2019, maybe 2020, but I can't think of one in recent years at UTA.
Well, it's fun to see down on the field as our cameraman zooms in on the Colt Corral will be singing the national anthem tonight, and there's a football player among them. There's a Colt kicker amongst them. So we'll step aside for a moment as we honor our nation with the singing of our national anthem.
Caleb Ladd is among the singers tonight.
That's awesome.
Arlington High students.
All right, John, you noticed that we had a moment of silence there for legendary Arlington coach Ken Oz.
One of the outstanding coaches in Arlington football school history. He guided those 1990 Sam Houston Texans as far as they could go, eventually losing to Lamar. But all the kids loved playing for Ken, a more likable coach you would never meet. A Sam Houston legend. It started with James Hyden. When you talk about Sam Houston legacy, it starts with James Hyden, and for me, it ends with Ken Oz.
Yeah, you know, I'm working at Sam Houston now. I'm a staff member over there, working with our seniors to make sure they're ready for life after high school. And so, yeah, Ken Oz's name, it still rings through the hallways at Sam Houston. And I got my fingers crossed for the Texans tonight, hoping they can win their homecoming game.
Everybody needs to win their homecoming game, yeah?
All right, the teams are lining up. Let's see who Weatherford's got deep for you here tonight. Over on the left side of the field, they'll be running left to right. Number 1 and number 18 for Weatherford back deep. Number 1 is Jacob Hemphill, and number 18, the senior Robert Mask, will be receiving deep.
Hemphill to the near side, Mask to the far side in the sunlight. Here's Sling, the senior, the transfer from Aledo, as it teed up. Scott Peach very pleased with the progress of his senior at 6 feet and 170 pounds. Just about set, there's a whistle, and we are underway. Week 3 of the 2025 high school football season. This sails into the arms of Robert Mask. Running to the right 10, inside the numbers 20 is piled up, doesn't get to the 20. Nice surge by the Colt kicking team to stop Mask at the 18-yard line.
Good job there by the Colt special team. Number 17, Jordan Jubert, was one of the first to arrive, and then a host of his colleagues joined him to stop them behind the 20-yard line. And the Roos will start, looks like, John, about the 18-yard line.
Cutter Kennedy, a junior quarterback. He's a man under. 342 passing yards this year. DJ Quinby is a setback, now slotted to the right. Man in motion, twin receivers to the right. Kennedy will hand it off. Quinby crosses a 20, still on his feet, takes a couple of hard shots, still struggles and has yardage out to the 27.5-yard line.
Bounced off a couple of tacklers there before number 13, Jacob Batiste, was finally able to bring him down. But he picked up good yardage on that. There's 1 yard to go for the first down here, 2nd down and 1.
DJ Quinby, a junior, 436 total yards of rushing this year, 2 touchdowns. 3 receivers wide left on 2nd and short. 2nd and about 1.5 yards. Movement in the interior line. Here's the flags on the near side. And the deep pass down the left side is broken up, but the Colts may have surged first.
Yeah, Samaje Davis was there for the Colts, but unfortunately he didn't know that his colleague had jumped off sides there, and this will give the Kangaroos a first down.
The defensive line this year for the Colts averaging about 258. They allow 245 total yards a game. Here's the yardage stepped off. And our first down of the game via the penalty. It's spotted at the 32. Kennedy looking to the bench as the play called by the coaching staff. Unbalanced line, power side to the right. Kennedy and hold everything. Another drop of the penalty flag. Offsides, illegal procedure. And that'll back up the Kangaroos 5. So they give 5 and they yield 5.
You know what I like on that play, though, is that Cam Gray, number 90, was alert to know when he needed to go ahead and jump. He was drawn offside, but boy, they're ready to play tonight, aren't they?
Fired up. At the 27, 1st and 15. Weatherford moving from left to right. Here's Kennedy, empty backfield. Man over the middle, thrown, and it is a little bit beyond the outstretched arms of, looked like Hodges or McMillan.
You know what,
bring up 2nd and 15.
I would say that pass was broken up because of the incredible pressure on the quarterback that time. Number 12, Luis Mendoza for the Colts, was in the quarterback's face before he even had a chance. Cutter Kennedy had this man right in his lap when he was trying to throw.
Mendoza McDaniel, the main linebackers this year for the Colts. Kadir Lynn is a nose tackle. 2nd and 15. Again, 3 receivers, this time wide to the right. Jacob Hemphill among the 3. He's the inside receiver on 2nd and 15. Play action. Kennedy, here's the screen pass, caught 30, and horse collared out of bounds at about the 34. A high neck tackle.
Yeah, good closing speed there by Mendoza again. Seems like we may be calling his name quite a bit tonight, but once the receiver caught the ball, Mendoza caught up to him very quickly.
Couldn't tell if the takedown was a true horse collar tackle or...
Looks like the referees are talking about it because there's a flag down.
Well, all that, and the play stands. So it's spotted at the 32. It'll be 10 yards needed here.
It should be 3rd down. 3rd down and 10 here.
3rd and 10 for the opening series for Weatherford. Again, 1-1 on the year. Kennedy from the gun. Quarterback draw. He'll keep it. And has yardage to the 40. It's a couple of yards short. It'll be 4th and 2. Nice action as one of the running backs went to the right. And a play right up the middle. 4th and 2, and Weatherford going for it. Kennedy is to Quimby, straight ahead. He's got the first down and more. Kennedy close to the 49, or Quimby close to the 49. DJ Quimby.
Quimby with a power move there, right up the gut. Picks up a good chunk of yardage there for the Weatherford Kangaroos and puts them at the 48-yard line with a 1st and 10.
It was a steady diet of Quimby last week. 35 carries, over 300 yards. From the 48, right between the hash marks, 1st and 10. Cutter Kennedy surveys the secondary. Throws caught at the Colt 42.
No yards after catch on that play.
Jacob Hemphill.
Colts number 33, A.J. Payne, brought him down just as soon as he caught the ball, but he picked up a good chunk of yardage there at 2nd and 1.
Brooks Kerball comes in as a wide receiver. They need a full yard, 2nd and a yard. They scrimmage from the Arlington 43. In motion, Kennedy drops back, looks middle deep, has a man open at the 10, over the shoulder and broken up at about the 5. Robert Mask, the intended receiver. Tell if that was a Batiste in the secondary.
Yep, that was number 18.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was Batiste. Yep, we're good. So it's 3rd down now, and they've still got 1 to go. Did they hand it off to Quimby again for the short yardage?
No. Had a nice run just a couple minutes ago, running over that left side. And again, this offensive line is pretty big, at 270. 3rd and a yard. It is Quimby, breaks it open down the sideline, close to the 30-yard line. Speed to burn. DJ Quimby, the junior, has piled up another Weatherford 1st down. Just underway, a little over 9 minutes left in the opening quarter.
Samaje Davis finally got the runner at the Quimby out of bounds, but not before they pick up another 1st down, and the Roos are on a really good opening drive here, John.
I'm going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 29. Sideline left, open field right. 1st and 10, Weatherford at the 29. And trying to get set on the left side. Weatherford moved first. Got to jump the gun. I don't think they called timeout in time before the back judge dropped the flag. It'll cost them 5. Procedure on the Kangaroos and a stoppage of play here.
Looks like we do have a timeout on Weatherford here. We'll step aside and take a short break. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Kangaroos have it at the 29-yard line. Here's a handoff. Quimby breaks it over the right side. Still on his feet, is shoved back at the 23. And again, a tough run by junior DJ Quimby. Going to be about 3 yards short of the first down.
Finally wrestled down there by Luis Mendoza. Seems like a name we're going to be saying quite a bit this evening. Still going to be about second down and about 4 here for the Kangaroos.
Out over the ball, Jaden Rucker, the offensive center at 6 feet and 290. Have a slot back to the right on second at about 3. Kennedy loading up, goes to the end zone, has a man open and overshoots him in the right corner.
It was intended for Hemphill, and it was about 10 feet over his head, John.
Running to the right, throwing to the right, and not able to connect. So it'll be third down at about 3 as the Kangaroos have it at the Arlington 22, just outside that mark. Receivers come in, receivers come out. Jacob Hemphill, one of the receivers that stays. Robert Mask also, he's wide to the left. Well, they got 3 bunts to the left. 3rd and 3. Kennedy running play and dragged down at the 19, close to the line to gain for a first down.
Brought down by number 90, Cam Gray, on that play, but not before Quimby's able to squeeze out just enough yards to get the first down. Ball seems to be resting right at the 20-yard line.
This drive started at the 18. 1st and 10, Weatherford at the Colt 19. 2 slot backs. Hand off, a sweep to the right. And running out of bounds after a tough 1 yard. Nice pursuit.
Yeah, Batiste finally ran him out of bounds there on that play, and he picked up, about 2 yards maybe on that one, running sideways instead of up and down.
That was Jacob Hemphill. Wide receivers on the sweep. Couple of yards, second down, and call it 8.
Time for the Colt defense to stiffen their backs here.
Hemphill and Mask wide right. Now Kennedy, the quarterback, breaks off, and the direct snap goes to Quimby. And Quimby stacked up at about the 13.
Number 55 for the Colt defense. Katie or Lynn on the bottom of that pile. The senior, 6'3", 290 defensive lineman. Brings up third down at about 4 here for the Roos.
Second time we've seen Kennedy line up at quarterback in this breakout to the right. Have the direct snap to Quimby, the running back. 3rd and short, the Arlington 13. Again, a man in motion. That's Hemphill. Here's Kennedy, a low snap, hands it off on the crossbuck. And Quimby dragged down a nice high tackle at shoulder pad height by Luis Mendoza. Got him and just tossed him down hard to the turf.
So now the Roos have a choice. The analytics would say they would go for it here on 4th down, but it kind of depends on what kind of kicker they've got, and here comes the kicker.
This drive is close to 70 yards.
Nope, that is not the kicker, John. That's another wide receiver splitting out right. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, that's Brooks Kerbo, wide right. It'll be 4th down, and Weatherford needing about 3 from the Arlington 13. Here's Kennedy. It's a running play, and he's bottled up. He surges ahead to the 10. Still, the pile moves to the 9, and he may have it, Doug.
It's going to be the difference between a left-footed and a right-footed referee, I'm afraid. See where they actually spot the ball. Right at the 9-yard line for a first down. First and goal from the 9.
Kangaroos threatening here of the opening possession. Motion in the line. Kennedy with a play that is thrown and caught and intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone as Batiste crosses at 20, crosses at 30, and the Colts have picked off Cutter Kennedy as Weatherford had it first and goal at the 9.
What a great play by the Colt defense to take that throw out of the end zone and bring it out to a decent field position for the offense to start. We're going to keep it right here, John, because the teams are on the field and ready to bring the Kangaroo defense out, and Coleman Cravens will lead the Colts out on the field for the first drive of this upcoming 2025 ball game tonight.
Pass was intended for Robert Mast, but Jacob Batiste stepped in front of him about 9 yards deep in the right corner of the end zone, brings it all the way out to the 30-yard line. About a 39-yard return. Ravens looking, throwing, over the middle. Excuse me, broke it up at the 45.
That was intended for the Colts, number 81, and there is no 81 on the roster. If somebody in the chat that's listening to the ball game knows who number 81 is, throw his name in the roster for us.
I think Kalen Wilson will wear 81. Second and a dime. Here's the reverse. Casey Brown, 35, out to the 40 and a first down.
Good run there by Brown around the right edge. He spent some time running sideline to sideline and finally turned that corner and was able to pick up enough for a first down.
Well, Doug, you've battled the allergies. You know how it can be.
I do. Absolutely. It's been a tough battle all week.
First and 10 Colts at their own 40, thanks to the interception to the end zone by Jacob Batiste. Coble Cravens from the shotgun. Handed up, running in 45, crossing midfield, and another first down into Weatherford territory at the 48.
John, he had some great pulling linemen there on that were leading the way. Hank Taylor among them, number 71. Big senior, 6'3", 265. Great pickup for the Colts there behind his line.
Offensive line for the Colts this year averaging 266. Sam Soto is your center. Ladd and Bastis are the guards. From the 48, here's the pitch out, running Revere, 45-40. Revere down the sidelines, open turf to the 25, and headbutted out of bounds at the 25. Max Revere.
Finally wrestled out by number 3, William Merritt for the Roos. 5'9", 200-pound linebacker, but not before the Colts pick up a huge chunk of yardage on that play, all the way down to the Kangaroo 26-yard line. It'll be first and 10, Arlington.
Max Revere in the Mesquite game, 9 carries, 89 yards, and a score. From the 26.
There goes Revere again. This time running behind his big right guard and right tackle, Bastos and Taylor. He found some great green in front of him and picked up another first down all the way down to the Roo 15-yard line. First and 10 Colts. Jamar Burton with the scamper to the right side and the Colt touchdown. Arlington High on the board first here tonight after the interception in the end zone that started this drive at our own 30. The Sons of the White and Green have put it in the end zone. Colts coming out with a kick here for the point after touchdown. All right, with the Colts on the board, we'll step aside and take a celebratory timeout here. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Classic South Drive Summary. Next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet, relax and enjoy the difference. That drive started on Arlington's 30, covered 70 yards after the pick in the end zone. 6 plays, started at their own 30, and it was ending in that touchdown. Classic South Drive Summary for your Colts. 7-0 Arlington. Here's the kickoff. Comes around the right edge and up the sideline. I think he stepped out of bounds. The Colts coaches seem to think he did, right about the 28-yard line. And that seems to be the case. Referee lining it right about the 30. Now it looks like they're going to spot it closer to the... Yeah, the coaches are still pointing way back at the 28, but they're going to actually spot the ball at about the Kangaroo 34, 33-yard line to start this drive. Luis Mendoza met him first and brought him down. Those middle linebackers are getting a lot of work tonight with Quimby powering the ball up the middle.
From the gun, Kennedy drops back 4 yards, looking deep left. Now a crossing pattern over the middle, intercepted at the Arlington 35.
Troy McDaniel running back the other direction with the pick. It's a second turnover by the Roos tonight. Troy McDaniel, the senior linebacker, gets the ball back in Arlington possession. Just barely in Arlington territory. It looks like the line of scrimmage will start about the Arlington 48, but what a great play by McDaniel.
Kennedy intercepted for the 3rd time this year. So McDaniel and Batiste have the interceptions for the Colt defense.
Ball actually resting at the Arlington 47 here to start this second series of the game tonight.
Empty backfield for Coleman Cravens. On the year, a couple of touchdowns, 1 interception, quarterback draw. Cravens struggles to midfield, has about 6 yards, and brought down at the Weatherford 49.
Yeah, finally wrestled down by the Roos, number 8, Xavier Olivares, but not before Coleman gets a designed run there for the quarterback and picks up a good chunk of yards there. It'll be second down and about 7.
Cravens does have a rushing touchdown this year. 2nd and 7, the Colt scrimmage from midfield.
Cravens gets the ball, hands it off to number 3, Nelson, on the sweep. He turns the corner and gets it up to about the 40-yard line. First down and 10, Colts.
Jackson Nelson, junior slot back / wide receiver. Arlington leading 7-0 inside of 2 minutes left in the opening quarter.
A couple of Nelson brothers that play on this ball team, sons of Coach Philip Nelson. Their older brother played on the team last year. Race to the right, two to the left here, and an empty backfield for Cravens here.
All at the 40. Good receivers on either side of the ball. Again, Cravens from the gun. Drops back, close to midfield. Down the rail, right side. Caught at the 37-yard line. Slow to get up. That was a Jamar Burton out that area.
Not a lot of yardage on that play as he was met pretty quickly by number 6, Brennan Bull, linebacker for the Roos. Picked up about 3 yards on the play, though.
The D line for the Weatherford Kangaroos this year averages close to 250. Second at about 70. Handoff over the left side. 35. Still moving close to the 30. But shy of the 30. We'll need about a yard for another Colt first down.
Here again, following some of his pulling guards. There's really a lot of action on that offensive line tonight, as designed by Coach Philip Nelson. And Colts need about 1 more yard here to get a 1st and 10.
Third and a yard, and Revere in the backfield. Cravens on the spread out. He has a first down, 30, 25. Cravens dives to the 21-yard line. Another first down for the Colts on the drive, leading 7-0.
Another designed run there for Coleman Cravens, actually putting his legs to use a little bit more tonight than we've seen in the Flower Mound game. Didn't have much to see last week.
May or may not get this play off, will not. That'll do it at the end of the first quarter. Colts leading 7-0.
We'll step away. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back to the second quarter of tonight's ballgame with the Colts driving. We want to remind you the second quarter is presented by Eka Signs. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Eka Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them ZAP sent you.
Arlington High has it, leading 7-0. Now moving from left to right, just outside the Weatherford 20-yard line.
Coleman Cravens with Revere next to him. The handoff is the sweeping back, and he runs around the corner, get down 10, 5, touchdown!
Jamar Burton, his second score in the first half. Skips to pay dirt from 20 yards out.
Good little sweeping action from Burton coming across the center right in front of the quarterback, takes the ball, turns upfield around the corner, and scampers virtually untouched into the end zone.
A 13-0 lead. Pierce Ling try to make it 14-zip out of the hold of Coleman Cravens. Up and good. So Ling is 2 for 2. The Colts are 2 for 2 on their drives and have a solid 14-0 lead here on homecoming night.
We'll step aside and take a little break. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. I'll do the classic drive reader coming back in. Thanks.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered.
Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of 97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Yeah. 14-0 Colts. The Classic South Drive summary. The play started on an interception at the Colts 47. The Colts ran 6 plays and put it in with Burton for the last touchdown. Yards covered on that drive were 53 yards. Classic South Drive summary. Next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
So the Colts have moved 70 and now 53 yards on their 2 drives, leading with a kickoff that sails to the 15, out to the 20, 25. Robert Mask on the return.
They had playing the traditional tune, the horse, as the Colts defense, which has been stellar so far tonight, comes back on the field. 2 picks led to 2 scores tonight. The Colts defense is really on fire here.
Carter Kennedy has been intercepted 3 times this year. Came in with a completion rate of just over 62%. No scrimmage from the 27. Third possession for the Roos on the year 1-1. And coming off a win last week against Azle. Here's a sweep. And they've got him bottled up at the 28. Not much.
They had a lot of action in the backfield with number 1, Jacob Hemphill, coming across the back, but then it was actually handed off to Quimby. But the Colt defense wasn't fooled. Mendoza was right there to meet him as he turned the right corner, picking up only about 2 yards on the play.
Jaden Rucker, the center for the Kangaroos. The guards, Preston Clark, Thomas Epps. The tackles, Rhett Gray and Landon Levius. From the 31. Kennedy, Quimby, and not much. Right up the middle, and right in the middle for the Colts.
Met at the line there by Robin Thesey, the defensive line senior, 5'8", 240. Brings up 3rd down here for the Roos.
Cam Gray also in the mix. He is 6'3" and 270, a senior. Defensive tackle on the right side. And Davis now wide right for Weatherford. 3rd and about 6.5. Kennedy sprints to the right, throws near the sidelines, and the pass intended for Hemphill, providing the coverage. The Colt cornerback on the left side will bring up 4th down.
You expect to see the punting unit here this deep in their territory.
Our first punt of the night, Isaiah Dowd in punt formation for Weatherford. Dowd is a senior. In return posture for the Colts, Max Revere. Revere standing at the Arlington 31. Isaiah Dowd, it's a fake. First down yardage 40, crossing midfield. Weatherford on the 4th down fake for about close to 40 yards. Nobody on the right side. And Weatherford able to exploit it and pick up the 1st down. It fooled everyone.
It fooled me. I saw the snap and I was looking at Revere, waiting for him to catch the ball and run with it. Nice play there by the Roos, pulling a little trick out of the hat. They're down at the 26, 27-yard line.
Close to 40 yards on that fake. In the backfield, Brennan Bell. Bell, also a linebacker on defense. They have it from the Arlington 27. Bell, met behind the line. Nice combo tackle among them for the Colts. Number 9, Troy McDaniel. He got him low.
McDaniel with the pick a series ago. Makes a good tackle in the backfield there for the Colt defense.
Deer Lynn comes in. Robert says he comes out. From the 26. Second. Long 8. Again, Bell. Bell looking for an avenue. Angles over the right side. Has yardage inside the 20. And about a yard shy of the first down.
Ran into Mendoza's arms once again right at the 20-yard line, and his teammates helped bring him down. Very close to a first down on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Roos.
Needed to get to the 17. They have it at the 18. 3rd and a yard. Bell has a first down to the 15. Slides for about 3.5 yards. In on the stop for the Colts, number 44, Hayden Bostic.
Roos looking for the sideline for the call. Kennedy lines up in the backfield.
From the 19, Colts leading 14-0. Quimby, 15, 10, inside the 5. Quimby taking tacklers with him to about the 5-yard line. The last line of defense, Samaji Davis.
Another direct snap to Quimby as Kennedy kind of faked he was going to catch the ball and then took off to the left side. Quimby took it straight up the middle again.
Samaji Davis had to come up to make the stop at his right cornerback spot. 1st and goal in the backfield is Hemphill. He'll take the snap. Hemphill trotting on the right side, dragged down at the 2. Trying to get to the corner. Jacob Hemphill, junior wide receiver. It'll be 2nd and goal right about the 2-yard line.
Bostic in on the play to drag down Hemphill to preserve the touchdown, but the ball still resting at the 2.
4.5 minutes into the second quarter. Colts leading 14-0. Kennedy from the shotgun. He'll take it over the right side, stacked up at the goal line, and the Colts have held. Did not get to the double strike. And will bring up 3rd and goal. They will spot it inside the 1, 3rd, and a couple of feet.
It's a real test here for the Colt defense. You would imagine that there's 2 plays here left for the Roos to get this ball in the end zone, being 3rd and 1 foot.
Either Quimby or Kennedy, maybe. Quimby's in the backfield to the right of Kennedy. 3rd and goal. He'll keep it straight ahead and score. Cutter Kennedy plunges in from a yard out. Kangaroos on the board. Cutter Kennedy with a rushing touchdown. And it's 14-6. On with the PAT is Isaiah Dowd. Snap from center, the hold. It's down, as is the kick. So it's true and through, and the Kangaroos have cut the lead in half at 14-7.
All right, we're going to step aside and take a little break here. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Jamar Burton drops back deep with Mac Trevere waiting the Weatherford kickoff. And goes through the end zone for the touchback.
That ball bounces off the head of Blaze in the end zone here. John, we got some inside information that the UTA president is thinking about a total rebrand for the Mavericks. He doesn't like the A in the middle of the field. They want to do some changes to Blaze. You know, back in my day, we had the old UTA with the big tent kind of A over the U, and the big T was a big tent. And we had the cowboy looking Maverick.
It was Sam Maverick.
Yep,
Sam Maverick and then Blaze.
I was in the marching band here at UTA for 2 years before they did away with the football program.
First and 10, Colts from the 25. 1985, the last year for UT Arlington football. Here's the pitch out to the right. 30 out to the 32. That's Jamar Burton. Burton with a couple of touchdowns tonight.
Finally thrown out of bounds by junior Rule Doss for the Roos.
Tossed him, yeah, rather forcefully.
He prepped him up and then just tossed him out of the field of play. Nothing vicious about it, just manhandled him.
That's football. 2nd and 3. Arlington leading 14-7. They have it at their own 32. 2 slot backs to the right, to the left of Coleman Cravens. So you got 3 in the backfield. Here's the inside toss, 35, 40, running room out to the 45. The inside toss to Cannon Cameron, a sophomore. Cameron listed as a wide receiver / quarterback and has the Arlington first down.
John, he made a great cut upfield. As soon as he saw a gap open up, he cut and picked up some good yardage on that play for a Colt first down.
So Cameron gets into the scoring book tonight, stat-wise. Jamar Burton in the backfield of the Cravens. 1st and 10, Colts at the 46. Handoff up the middle, 4, 5, still on his feet, and twisted down at the 49-yard line. It takes 4 Kangaroos to shove down Jamar Burton.
That sounds like a joke, John. How many roos does it take to bring down Burton?
They came out of the pouch. They had 10 of them there.
Yeah, they did.
Spotted at the 49.
Into Roo territory now, from the Colt 49 to the Roo 49.
2nd and a nickel. Over 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Cravens, they stay to the ground. Burton try to bounce to the outside. He does. 45. Burton close to the 40. And Burton taken down hard by Barco.
That'll move the sticks again, John.
Colts piling up yardage and first downs on their 3rd series tonight.
Stay tuned for the halftime show where we'll be bringing you some homecoming activities, and we'll look at the Dallas Morning News and bring you some stats from this first half. That'll be coming up at halftime here from Maverick Stadium.
First and 10, Colts from the 40. Jacob Nelson and Kaysen Brown wide left, but hold everything. Coach Peach wants to call a timeout here with a little over 4:40 to go in this first half.
All right, while they take a timeout, we'll take a little timeout. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982. We'll be right back.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Back to action here after I dubbed John Wade Roofing America's favorite roofer. We'll just go with that. Turn it back over to our guest host tonight, John Nelson.
John Wade will be one of the distinguished Colt alums recognized at the open house tomorrow at the high school. 1st and 10 over the left side for a tough 2 yards, Kason Brown. Weatherford right there to answer the call. Cadillac Galindo, one of the 2 Kangaroos to make the stop, the outside linebacker. Not going to give him the full 2 yards, only a yard gain. It's spotted at the 39, 2nd and 9. Max Revere and Cravens in the backfield. Wilson, the tight end on the right side. Here is the sweep, 35. Inside the 30 and thrown down at the 29-yard line. Jackson Nelson on the sweep.
You know, John, a good show of teamwork there as Max Revere actually led Nelson on that run, taking out a blocker and giving him a few more yards so he could pick up that first down.
The sweep has worked well tonight for the Colts. Kason Brown and Jamar Burton, and now Jackson Nelson.
John, has there been a pass on this drive at all?
No, one.
All running.
An area pass. 1st and 10 from the 29. 25. Inside the 20. To the 15. Brooklyn to tackle at the 10. Inside the 5. What a run by Burton.
Oh, and a flag at the very end of the play.
And Burton got the handoff. Breaking tackles, making a miss. And we'll see if it all comes back or maybe a hold on the run.
Maybe a hold or a face mask on the tackle. We'll see what the referee has to say right here. Face mask on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, which isn't far to go.
A lot of grabbing and holding on that run by Burton.
Puts the Colts in great position here, 1st and goal with 2 yards to go.
This would cap off a nice time-consuming 75-yard drive.
Boy, no kidding. 3:40 left in the first half.
Without a pass being thrown.
Yeah.
Max Revere is the setback. Kalen Wilson also in the backfield. 1st and goal at the 2. Revere breaks it off. Cravens will keep it and drag down at about the 6. Coming in from his backside, Quentin Martinez, the defensive left end for Weatherford. Loss of about 3 on 1st and goal.
There's a little mustard on the lettuce there, John, right about the 10-yard line.
There's a yellow on the green.
It's against the defense.
Well, that'll spot it. Half of that will line it up right at the 1. So 1st and goal from the 1. Burton and Kason Brown. It's Brown. He'll run the show. Brown takes a snap. He'll keep it. Right side to the 1, trying to get to the pylon. And just about an inch short. Kason Brown on the run. It'll bring up 2nd and goal. Coleman Cravens back in. Max Revere. So make it 2nd and goal from the 1. Revere and Cravens in the backfield. Arlington leading 14-7. Jamar Burton to the right. 2nd and goal. Burton the move man. Here's a handoff to Revere, and Revere has a Arlington touchdown as it crosses the double stripe from a yard out.
Good drive there by the Colts, capped off by that run. John, let's see if we can take another look at that one.
You're asked to move the straight ahead blocking, the Colt offensive line doing so. And Revere split the crease, runs to daylight, and has the Arlington touchdown.
Bring out Ling for the point after touchdown attempt. Coleman Cravens puts it down. And that ball is up and good. Your new score, Colts 21, Kangaroos 7 here on homecoming night. We'll step aside. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you. From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistics Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pickup so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistics Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
Back to live action, the Classic South drive summary. Colts started that drive on their own 25, went 75 yards for the touchdown on 10 plays, all running plays. Next time you need a new drive, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
Colts led 7-0 after the end of the first quarter. They've scored twice here in the second and now lead at 21-7. Pierce Ling kicks off for the Colts. It's a squib kick and fielded by one of the Upmen at the 20-yard line. Lucky to get to it first as the Kangaroos will have it close to the 20-yard line and almost was picked up by Jacob Hemphill, but he really had too far to run on that squib kickoff.
So we got 2 minutes and 54 seconds left here in the first half of homecoming 2025. There is a flag on the play, it looks like. Referee going to tell us what's going on.
It appeared to happen right at the end of the play, or maybe a block in the back.
He didn't make a hand signal, so I'm not sure what he did.
It was a spot foul.
5-yard penalty.
Near the 15-yard line. So Weatherford lined up. Let's see where they mark. It'll have to be inside the 15. And will be placed at the 12. So that's where Weatherford will start. 1st and 10, their 4th possession at their own 12. DJ Quimby and Cutter Kennedy in the backfield. Kennedy, the quarterback, marks out the signals. Inside handoff to Quimby. 15, 20, Quimby 25, and first down yardage out to the 26.
It's been a good play for them tonight. Quimby's got some good holes to run through on that right side, but he's also been doing a lot of running right up the middle too.
A first down run of 13 yards. Inside of 3 minutes, Colts leading 21-7 from the 26. Now that's line, Kennedy. And here's the play fake. Kennedy throwing deep down the left side. One-on-one coverage. And the pass intended for Jacob Hemphill.
That ball way overthrown again. I haven't seen a real on-target throw by Cutter Kennedy so far tonight.
There have been some crossing patterns over the middle, but Kennedy has either been short or just a little bit too high. He's been picked off twice tonight. Second and 10 just outside the 25. In motion is Hemphill. Here's Kennedy looking to the short side. It's a middle screen. Quimby has it. 30, 35, running room 40. Over midfield, and Quimby on the middle screen as a Weatherford first down thrown down in the secondary by Troy McDaniel.
Yeah, good play by Troy there, as there was a lot of green in front of the ball carrier. And with 2:16 left, Weatherford's got a drive going here.
Colts have won the last 5 games in this series. It was a 23-19 come from behind win last year for the green and white at Weatherford. First and 10, Roos from the Colt 46. Quimby outside, taken down hard at the 44-yard line, a hard 2 yards for DJ Quimby.
Number 12 in on that tackle again. Luis Mendoza all over the field tonight, John.
Mendoza had that tremendous game, Doug, here against Mesquite, the opening game of the year. 12 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception return for a touchdown that night.
Oh, John, that brings us to the 2-minute warning here. We'll step aside and take just a short break. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Back to action here as the 2-minute timeout has expired. The Kangaroos are coming back onto the ball field. It'll be second down and about 7. Need the Colt defense here to stop them with 2 minutes to go in the game, in the first half.
You know, there hasn't been a short scoring drive tonight. The shortest scoring drive has come from 53 yards out. This drive started from the 12. Second down and close to 7 needed. Straight handoff up the middle to the 35. That's the third carry for Brennan Bell. Bell, the running back. And Bell has a first down for Weatherford. So the Kangaroos have it first and 10 right between the hash marks at the Arlington 35. They've got to send Robert Mask wide left. That means Jacob Hemphill, one of their other wideouts, will go to the left side.
Got some discussion here between the officiating crew and the head coach for the Roos.
Coach is Aubrey Sims. Clock issue. Right now shows a minute 54 to go in the half.
Yeah, that's what it was. The clock didn't run enough during that last play.
From the 35, first and 10 Weatherford. Quimby over the right side, shakes off one. Quimby struggles to the 30-yard line, has a gain of 5.
Quimby showing some good strength in his running ability there as he ran into a Colt defender and bounced and spun right off of him. Takes more than one man to bring Quimby down, John.
Running behind Landon Olivas at 6 feet and 265. Arlington Colts taking a timeout.
Yep, Colts take a timeout here at the end of the first half. We'll step aside. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, then you need to see Yachty Pagan at Classic South in Euless. Yachty's a proud Arlington ISD product, a graduate of Lamar, and the voice of the Volunteers since 2021. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned buyer, or just looking to boost or rebuild your credit, Yachty's direct approach is why his customers become customers for life. Call or text 817-706-5679.
Back to action here as the teams are coming out of that little timeout there by the Colts. Defense heads back on the field. The Roos are still in a semi-huddle. I don't see very many huddles in the game today, do we, John?
No, you just see a sprint to the line of scrimmage and the play call from the bench. Quarterback checks his wristband and
Up to the line at the Arlington 29-yard line, trailing 21-7, second down and 4 yards needed. Kennedy with a swing pass, sets a double screen, one pass and towards the end zone, and it intended for DJ Quimby. There was a swing pass to the short side to Brooks Curbo. Curbo was the quarterback last year for Weatherford. Curbo trying to hook up with Quimby at the goal line.
Good defense there by the Colts number 17, Jordan Jubert, the senior, in on the play, breaking up that pass.
And hold everything for this play is run. We have another clock issue or a sideline issue.
I heard a whistle blow. Now they're going to talk about it. Let's see what we've got here.
Weatherford needing 3rd and about 5.
Fans, don't forget to stay tuned for the halftime show. We've got a visit with Coach Peach. They just moved the ball a little bit, 29-yard line from the 30. We have Coach Peach and a short little talk, and then we have homecoming festivities coming up for you from the Arlington High King's Court and the King and Queen.
3rd and 4. DJ Quimby has a first down, 25. 20 inside the 20, dragged down at the 18-yard line. They needed 4, he got about 9.
Minute 13 left here in this first half. Clock will stop just long enough to reset the chains.
Drive stays alive. Minute 11. Aiming. Kennedy to the short side, caught in traffic. And close to the 10, Bryant Davis. Davis, the wide receiver.
Looks like they got him out of bounds just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd and about a foot.
Ball at the far hash mark. They need less than a yard. Trailing by 14. 2nd and less than a yard.
Coachie's in the backfield.
Cutter Kennedy, it's a handoff to Bell. Bell dragged down at the 10. Nice pursuit, quick feet, Jordan Jobert. That'll stop things. It'll bring up 3rd. They're going to mark it at the 11. Lost a yard. So now 3rd and 2.
While the teams talk about things, we'll step aside and visit another one of our sponsors here. We appreciate all of our sponsors as they keep us up and running here on Zach Arnold Productions. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Back to live action here from UTA's Maverick Stadium. Homecoming 2025 for the Arlington Colts taking on the Weatherford Kangaroos. Weatherford driving here. I'm going to turn it back over to the legendary voice, John Nelson.
Whenever that voice returns, following Dayquil and Claritin and whatever else I could take this week. 3rd and 2. They need to get to the 9. Quimby has a first down inside the 5, close to the goal line.
Ball comes out, John.
It's fumbled and picked up in the end zone. Is that Payne? A.J. Payne, the safety.
They're going to talk about it over there on that far side to see if he was down. There's a whole herd of zebras over there in the far corner.
DJ Quimby was close to the goal line. I don't know if they stopped play, if they ruled him in the grasp. Did he get over the goal line and then fumble?
Here we go. Runner down by contact, no fumble.
It's at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Weatherford at the 1.
I'd rather have the fumble.
Oh, much rather, yeah. 47 seconds to go. Going tempo. Quimby untouched. DJ Quimby from a yard out has Weatherford's 2nd touchdown.
runs their point after touchdown team out to get that extra point. Just a hair over 40 seconds left. The Colts are going to get it back. Not sure what Coach Peach will want to do with it with so little time left. Kicker number 16, Isaiah Dowd, back.
Extra point attempt by Dowd is good. So Weatherford creeping a little closer. It's now 21-14. Doug, 88 yards on that drive. So they match Arlington's 75-yard drive. Yep. Nice comeback by the Roos.
Yep, nice play there, nice drive by both teams. Lots of good offense tonight. We'll step aside and take one more little break here before the half, you would imagine. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
PDA Advocacy Group supports CCMR, College, Career, Military Readiness, a set of educational standards designed to help students be better prepared for post-high school life. If college-bound, take entrance tests, dual credit courses, earn a 2-year degree prior to graduation. If you're going to a career, take classes that will result in industry certification, mechanic, computers, welding, etc. The options are vast. Military? Enlist in the armed forces as a career. CCMR, driving towards success in life.
Welcome back to live action here at the end of the first half of Homecoming 2025 for your Arlington Colts. They just gave up a touchdown, and the kickoff here by the Roos is going to go deep and into the end zone. Probably a wise decision there by Jamar Burton.
Over the head, let it go, comes out to the 25.
So with 40.7 seconds left here, let's see what Coach Peach pulls out of his hat.
Fourth possession of the first half for the Colts. They've started from their own 30, their own 47, and back-to-back drives starting from the 25. Burton with a couple of touchdown runs. Max Revere from 1 yard out. Scoring tonight for the Colts. They came in averaging 21 points a game. Weatherford defense allowing 38 through the first 2 weeks. Okay, here's the offensive line. Cravens first and 10 for the 25. He's got Revere out to the left. Inside receiver is Burton. In motion, Revere. Cravens drops back. Looking down the right side, caught at the 35 and close to the 40.
Colts in a hurry-up offense here. They have 1 timeout left here in the first half.
Jackson Nelson and Alex Moore right there.
Looks like Coach Peach is going to put the gas pedal to the metal here.
Gain of 14 yards. Revere in motion on first and 10. Cravens spots Revere, caught in the left flat, and runs out of bounds at the 39.
Good presence of mind there by Revere to run out of bounds and stop the clock on that play. He wasn't going to pick up much yards. There was good coverage on that play. Revere was about Craven's 3rd or 4th check down out in the flat on the left side.
3 receivers wide right. Alex Moore, Jackson Nelson, and Jamar Burton. Got a squadron split out wide right.
Yeah,
the Colts.
And you know, not a single pass play in the last series, all passes so far this series.
From the 39, quarterback draw. Cravens heads to the middle, now breaks it to the outside, 45, and runs out of bounds close to the 50. Goes out of bounds at the 48.
Good play by Cravens. He was going over the left tackle there and saw that the hole was closed, and he sprinted outside and picked up almost a whole first down.
14.8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Well, I don't know what the range of Ling is, but close maybe to the 25. So they try to go long here from their own 48. Cravens has it cocked, looks, scrambles, motioning traffic. Still has it loaded up and deep down the left rail into double coverage and intercepted at the 19-yard line.
He had all day to throw the pass. Fantastic job by the Colt offensive line, but I think he tried to force that one in there on a double coverage.
Tried to get it to Casey Brown close to the 15-yard line, and it's intercepted. Weatherford will take over with just a play left. So from the 18, that's where the Weatherford Kangaroos have it with 4.4 seconds remaining. Got one timeout, but what can you do with 4 seconds? Not much. On the 18, Kennedy, it's a handoff to Quimby up to the 25, spun down at the 27, and that's where the first half will come to a close.
All right, John. Thank you for a good first half of football. It's a nice close game. 21-14, Colts up on homecoming night here. We're going to take you into halftime presented by Taqueria Taco Express. But before that, let's visit our title sponsor, John Wade Roofing, and then we'll come back with a little discussion by Coach Peach. And then we'll come back midway through the halftime and give you homecoming festivities with the presentation of the homecoming court and the crowning of the king and queen of 2025. We'll be right back. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
The 2025 season is upon us, and at the time of this recording, it's the first day of practice, so it is literally just now getting underway. And for those of you tuning in on this halftime show, it's a Colt Conversation with Coach Peach. I'm Zach Arnold, and we're back again for another season of these conversations and another season of covering Colt football. Coach, thanks so much for having us back for another year.
You bet, Zach. I appreciate all you do, man.
Coach, let's talk about the defense for a little bit. I know that Coach Hensley is the man in charge of that, but from what you have seen from his preparation, from what you have observed over the last couple of years, how are you feeling about this year's defense and the integration of the 4-3 scheme now that these freshmen and sophomore who are varsity ready have adapted to the new scheme?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Coach Hensley. The best thing about him is that when I hired him, he had 18 years of defense coordinator experience.
Right.
And he believes very strongly in our scheme. He knows all the ins and outs of it. And like anything else, it just takes time to come in and create your culture from 9th grade all the way up of getting us to where we want to be. And I really feel like we're at that place now. I think we ought to be at a high level defensively this year. And I think we have the football team to do it. I think it starts from me. If you say, well, what's different about this group than years past? I would start with our secondary. I think that we are in a really great place with our starting 4 secondary players this year than we've been at any other time under Coach Hensley's leadership. I think it starts with A.J. Payne. He is the free safety that really runs the back. He's sticky in coverage. He's a physical football player. He's worked really, really hard in the weight room to get to where he needs to be with his body. I think next to him, I think there's a kid named Jacob Batiste that's moved in. Last year he was a JV football player for us because he was not eligible yet. But he's moved up now as a junior. And he is strong. He is physical. He's athletic. He tackles well. I think he's going to be really special at corner for us. And can't wait to see what he's going to do. Samaje Davis on the other side at corner is long and lean, very athletic. He's a high track athlete, runs the 400 and the 800, started running the 200 some. But he really came on last year late in the season for us. So when you talk about the speed guy with length that can kind of take on your number one receiver, I think he's got a great chance to be that guy for us. And then we've got a safety named Dermot Cunningham. Again, long, 6'2", really athletic, runs at a high level. And we have a group in the secondary now, I think, that can line up against anybody's skilled athletes. and cover a lot of ground, and that's exciting because we can't always have said that over the past 3 or 4 years, but I believe we have that this year with that group in the back.
That type of athleticism is definitely not something that you see in every school or every district. And for a lot of young men, they want to be in those skill positions. They want to be wide receiver. They want to be running back. Is there any kind of sales pitch that has to be done in order to get those type of high-profile athletes to do something in the secondary as opposed to trying out for wide receiver?
Yeah, I think it comes down to a lot of kids, to your point, want to catch the football, be an offensive kid. I think there's two things to that. Number one, are you an offensive playmaker? Yes, you can catch the ball a little bit. Yes, you can run a route. But are you an offensive playmaker, right? And you have to be honest with yourself of, if I'm not, then where is the best place for me to make a name for myself, get on the field, right, and eventually be a college recruit?
Right.
The second deal is, you've got to, on the defensive end, right, if you're a tackler, if you like hunting the football, you're in the right place. And I think there's some guys that just have to realize that hunting is fun too. Tackling is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of our guys, it's a piece where I'll also say this, you better be pretty special at the receiver position. You better be pretty long nowadays in order to get that recruiting piece, right? Right now in the secondary, I've had a lot of guys that may not necessarily have that same build, but they could run, they could hunt and cover, that are D1 football players.
Yeah.
And so, for that being said, A.J. Payne's an example, Majay Davis is an example. They're both guys that could be receivers for us, but they also have an exceptional talent in the secondary, and they're in the right spot.
And that's another part of what the summer can do is to help you figure out what those placements are and get them ready for that for the season. I asked you this about the offense. I'm going to ask you this about the defense. Who do you feel like had the best offseason? Who had the best summer to get ready for this football season?
Yeah, I'm really proud of our linebacking core. Troy McDaniel, which I mentioned before, is a outstanding leader. It's a big deal to him. He's going to hold you accountable, but he's going to be front and center every time, doing what he's supposed to do. He is – when we talk about reckless abandon, he's that kid. He's the one running down on special teams, going to blow you up. He's going to make a lot of football plays. Troy Gaston is the type of kid that's always there every time, ready to go, and because of that has filled that Mike linebacker position really well for us, starting day one in February all the way through until August. And again, reckless abandon, physical kid, knows where he's supposed to be and loves to tackle. And then we got a kid named Luis Mendoza, and Luis is just an awesome football player. Undersized as far as his height and his build, but he's strong, he can run, and he can cover, makes tackles. And those three kids are just what you look for as far as the work that they put in this summer in the weight room and just football players making plays all over the field.
Do you see this defensive unit more geared towards strength, speed, or a bit of both?
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark right now, because we can really run in the back. Our back seven can run. And I think that's a big deal for us because, again, if you can get to the football in this district, if you can cover in this district, you got good things going. The biggest thing for us is our defensive line. And as fast as our defensive line grows up will be how fast we grow up as a defensive unit. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Gray is a football-playing dude, playing defensive tackle. Kadir Lynn is a big piece for us this year. He's got great size. It's time for him to come on as a defensive tackle. And if he and Cam Gray are playing, we look as good as anybody at defensive tackle. Defensive end is a place. We lost all our defensive ends.
Right.
So if you ask me the question, where do we have to grow up the quickest, it's at defensive end. Hayden Bostic is back from last year.
Okay.
And I think he's going to be a really good player for us. I'm really excited about sophomore Aaron Bishop. He is long and athletic and is going to be a good piece for us. We've got Jesus Giron, who's coming on at defensive line. He's also a wrestler. So any type of one-on-one type of stuff, he's really good at being physical. And so the faster those three guys come on for our defense, the better we're going to be just because of the inexperience that we have at that position.
There are teams like Martin that are probably looking for revenge after last year. There are teams like Lamar that just missed out, who seem to be on the rise a bit. How does the defense adapt to and lock down all the different styles that exist within the district? Bowie's very run-heavy. Martin has a lot of misdirection. How does this defense lock down all those different styles and be prepared week in and week out?
Well, first, Coach Hensley is an outstanding run-stop coach, and we're always going to be in a position to where we're going to be able to defend the run. And then, like we talked about, with the secondary athleticism that we have that can match people well, I'm really excited about that. Now, I will say this. It really comes down to us, you know. And so regardless of who's thrown across from us,
right,
you know, we've got to take care of our business. And really, I could care less who's lined up across the other side of the field for us if we take care of what we're supposed to. And so right now for us, it goes back to, with today being our first football practice of the year, are we flying around to the football? Are we doing our job on every play? Are we playing with relentless pursuit? And if we're doing those things and demanding it as a coaching staff, right, then we're going to be just fine and have a really great season. But that's where it starts with. And so that being said, you know, to handle everybody, we're going to take it a week at a time, but I think we're built to be able to handle all those pieces.
You mentioned this recording time that we're doing is the first official day of practice. What kind of things do you do? I know you do a lot of stuff during the summer, but what kind of things do you do on the first official day of practice to help commemorate the start of the football season?
Yeah, we hit it and get it. I mean, there's no fancy speech. There's no type of tradition walking out because we've been rolling this summer.
Right.
And the nice thing about this football team right now is our top players and our top leaders have committed themselves all spring and all summer to this cause. And the beautiful thing about that is if you're all the other guys, whether you think you're entitled to something, whether you didn't really work as hard as you wanted to this summer, you better hang on because we're running and you got to catch up.
Yep.
And if you're out of shape, that's on you.
Yep.
You know, if you don't know what you're doing, that's on you. It's exciting when that happens. And if you go back and look at some of my best teams over the past 23 years, when my best football players are my best leaders and my hardest workers, you better watch out. And I know that we have this group that I just talked about with those 6 guys and all the ones around them coming. We're excited.
What would you say to the Arlington High fans, number one, and then just general football fans, number two, to get them even more excited than they already are for football season and for Colt football season as a whole?
I would say this. The fact that we're back at UTA, I really want our community to rally around that. I want them to know that I brought us back here with the support of Eric White, my athletic director, because I felt like it was right for Arlington High School football, and I want the fans to make me right. So please come out to the stadium. The excuse now of it's tough to get to downtown Arlington, it's a 20-minute drive, I got to park a long way away. My deal now is let's get into UTA, let's pack those stands. The next thing is the shout-out to our student section.
Yeah.
We couldn't have a very good student section at Choctaw. It was too far away. It was at an angle. Now we're right on top of the field. We've got our cheerleaders right in front of us. You know, let's pack the stands every week. I would also say this. We've got 6 football games at UTA.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go very long. There are times in the season by the time we go away and then have a bye and maybe another way, it's a month before you can see a football game if you want to come to UTA. And we don't like to travel on the road if you decide that. My deal is we got 6 games coming into UTA, a 7th game at Choctaw.
Yep.
Let's get after it and be excited about the fact of, you know, the goal for us is have a good enough product that those fans want to come out and watch us play. That's our job. But for them, what an awesome opportunity to get back into being 30 seconds away from Arlington High School for our home game.
Welcome back to UTA's Maverick Stadium for Homecoming 2025. We're going to bring you back live here. That was a conversation with Coach Peach you just heard. And now we're going to transition to a live field shot for you as we bring you the homecoming festivities. The Colt Kickers are on the field, and they're going to do their traditional routine to the band playing the horse. And then we'll transition into the presentation of the homecoming court and the crowning of the 2025 homecoming king and queen. Enjoy the show, folks.
Mr. Pineda and Mr. Randall from the administration department as their teachers of the week. Thank you for all that you do to serve our students. And now, under the direction of Caroline Lukow and Ricky Bruner, the goalkeepers will perform the traditional homecoming marking horse and training to the horse. People begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Arlington District Homecoming 2025. We would like to thank all of the Arlington High School graduates who attended homecoming activities. Tonight, recognize the important steps of homecoming. The Michelle County, Arlington and Maryland, presentation of the homecoming court. Along with former King Michelle Carrillo and former King Hayden White, leading the coalition area, they introduced the freshmen and Duchess in their court. The nominees for Duchess was Jack Hosanna, Hodges, Sophia Hart, Corey McWilliams, and Capri Ringport. The nominees for President Ray Cambridge, Eddie Carrillo, Stephen Wynn, John Arnold, and Carlos Payne. The class of 2029 chose as their Duchess is Sophia Hart, and as their Duke, Mr. Eddie Carrillo. Sophia plays volleyball for NHS. Abby plays football and is a freshman representative for student council. The sophomore Duchess nominees are Abby Bardell, Sophia De Leon, Evelyn Martinez, Haley Majerus, and Eileen Salinas. The sophomore Duke nominees are Jack Goodyear, Mario Gutierrez, Travis Hill, Hazel Medina, and Michael Rivera. The class of 2028 chooses their Duchess, Miss Ellie Darnell, who is escorted by the sophomore Duke, Mr. Mario Gutierrez. Adding is a junior cheerleader. She's a varsity cheerleader. Mario competes with the varsity track team and the track and field team. The junior class nominees for Texas are Lily Hartnett, Olivia Winger, Claire Novoselsky, Lukaya Rogers, and Bree Shelton. The Prince nominees are Jacob Batiste, Jacob Golden, Logan McCullough, AJ Payne, and J.D. Sosa. The junior class chose as their princess Miss Bree Shelton, and as their prince, Mr. J.D. Sosa. DeBray plays tennis and is a member of Avon and Advanced Kangaroos sports. J.D. is a member of the Cold Kickers, FCCLA, the Dora Code, and the Key Club. First, Miss Madeline Channing, who is escorted by Mr. Jamal Burton. Madeline is the daughter of Eric Turner and Kaylon Ramirez. She participates in cross country and track and is a member of the Key Club. Jamal Burton is the son of Andrea and Michael Burton. Jamal plays varsity football and competes in cross country and track. Our second pair of finalists is Miss Kira Davis Ware and Mr. Rudy Corral. Mr. Rudy Carrizales. Kira is the daughter of Paige Davis and Anthony Ware. She is an aide, a varsity volleyball player, and plays flag football. Rudy is the son of Lucy Howard and Rudy Carrizales. Next we have Miss Trinity Ghostin and Mr. Gabriel Garcia State. Trinity is the daughter of Tiffany Amanda. She's a member of the Key Club, Spanish Club, National Honor Society, basketball manager, and Mayor's Youth Commission. Gabriel is the son of Ashley Garcia and Pedro Soto. He participates in band, jazz band, orchestra, National Honor Society, and the Key Club. And our next pair of finalists, Miss Abigail King and Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. Abigail is the daughter of Marvin and Bernadette King. Abigail is a 6'8" street and serves as the Key Club historian. Our last pair of finalists is Ashley Perez and Jason Miller. Ashley is the daughter of Alex Castillo and Marcela Castillo. She is a member of Avon and serves as an athletic trainer. Casey is the son of Eileen and Jarvis Moore. He's involved in theater, art, band, Key Club, and the National Honor Society. And now, to climax the 2025 homecoming activities, this is the moment we've been waiting for, the coronation of this year's royalty. Our 2025 homecoming theme is Mr. Jamar Burton. In recognition of this high honor, Miss Stacy Humble will present the new king with a plaque commemorating this recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of Arlington High School for 2025, Her Majesty, Miss Ashlyn Perez. Making the call on Her Majesty will be Miss Stacy Humble. Congratulations to the new king and queen. Ladies and gentlemen, our principal, Ms. Stacy Humbles, the administration, the faculty of Arlington High School, the student council, and the entire student body would like to say thank you to all Arlington High Xers. How sweet it is to be back in Colt country.
You may have heard the announcer sign off there with how sweet it is to be in Colt country. And it is sweet to be back here at UT Arlington's Maverick Stadium for Homecoming 2025. I'm going to turn it over to John Nelson. He's going to give you a recap of the homecoming festivities here. John, take it away.
Yeah, the long lineage of the Arlington homecoming tradition continues. The Colts had some football representatives. Jacob Batiste, A.J. Payne, Sean Johnson, and Jamar Burton were the King nominees. Your homecoming king for 2025 is the senior running back, Jamar Burton. Your homecoming queen for 2025, Her Majesty Ashlyn Perez.
Lots of tradition here wrapped up in our homecoming presentation. The band coming out on the field and leaving the field with the Sons of the White and Green, the Colt kickers presenting their routine to the horse, and then, of course, the presentation of the court. We hope you were able to hear most of those presentations as the Colts are back on the field in the north end zone warming up. The Roos are out in the south end zone warming up. And we're ready for a second half of action. John, what was your impression of the first half of play?
Well, it was the running backs. Jamar Burton scoring twice for the Colts. Max Revere scoring from a yard out. And a story of 24 minutes of running. And for the most part, Kennedy and Quimby for Weatherford. Quimby scoring from a yard out, and Frederick Kennedy scoring from a yard out. But the Colts, they've got the work cut out defensively, trying to slow down this junior DJ Quimby.
Yeah, he really has been running hard. He's been running straight through the line. His offensive line, like you mentioned earlier in the game, are big young men, and they're blowing some holes up. And then he is just a strong runner. It takes more than one tackler to bring Quimby down, and he's been running straight up the middle and just off to the right, behind his right tackle and his right guard. And he's been picking up big chunks of yardage tonight.
Well, that last scoring drive just wore down the Colt defense. 88 yards on that Weatherford scoring drive. The Arlington scoring drives tonight coming from 70, 53, and 75. And the Colts will get the ball to begin the second half.
They have the Colt drives have been very methodical, John. We've seen one drive that went the length of the field and there was not a single pass thrown. And then we saw another drive that ended in an interception. It really was inconsequential. But Coleman Cravens had forever behind that big offensive line of the Colts. He had 5 to 7 seconds before he finally released that ball. As the Weatherford Roos come back on the field here for the second half of play, what we're looking for, and it's one thing I'm looking for, and then I'll turn it back to you, is I want to see what kind of halftime adjustments Coach Colby Hensley, the defensive coordinator, has to handle Quimby. There hasn't been much of a threat from the quarterback, Cutter Kennedy, tonight. He's had some completed short passes, but a lot of his longer passes downfield have been either overthrown or underthrown tonight, and he just hasn't been a whole lot of a factor in the passing game for the Roos. But I want to see what Coach Hensley comes up with to plug those gaps and pay some more attention to Quimby.
You know, you were at Marcus last week, and Coach Peach most coaches always agree that your biggest improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. In essence, this is week 2 for the Colts.
It is. And we've always had faith in the halftime adjustments of Coach Peach and his coaching staff. They always are able to seem to analyze what's going on and how to make adjustments as the Colts come back on the field here out of the north end zone, with the cheerleaders leading the way and the band striking up the strains of the Sons of the White and Green. It is homecoming night here, John, and we're looking for a homecoming win here tonight for Colt Nation. And we're fixing to get this thing started off here as the Roos are already out on the field ready to go. And the Colts will be sending out their receiving unit here in just a second.
3 turnovers, all via interceptions. Carter Kennedy was picked off twice. Coleman Cravens with the deep pass right before the end of the half for Arlington High. No fumbles,
me give you a few updates on the teams that are playing in the area tonight. Of course, we mentioned Martin winning last night over Mansfield High School, 74 to 47, little palindrome action there. Grand Prairie High School 41, Nimitz 27 in Thursday night action, and Seguin 21, Burleson High School 0. All three of those games last night. Tonight's action at the half: South Grand Prairie 34, Mansfield Legacy 14. At the half, up in Coppell, another game that's presented on Zep Network, Bowie 7, Coppell 40 at the half. Lamar at Mesquite Horn. It's Lamar 14, Mesquite Horn 17. Sam Houston over at Choctaw 20. They've narrowed the gap. It's 21 Sam, MacArthur 28. And here we go with the kickoff, John.
Second half underway. Weatherford will kick off, handled by Jamar Burton at the 5, crosses the 25, crosses the 30. Jamar Burton, your homecoming king, close to midfield.
John, we had so much going on at halftime with the homecoming presentations. We wanted to make sure you knew that halftime was presented by Taqueria Taco Express. Taqueria Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving. With 5 convenient locations and a 6th one opening soon, solving those cravings has never been easier. Be sure to visit them on Taco Tuesday for their taco special. 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Order online to collect points for free food. Visit today or visit TaqueriaTacoExpress.com. Halftime presented by Taqueria Taco Express.
Arlington Colts on the kickoff return have it close to midfield. A short stoppage play here as both teams huddle up. Both the offense and defenses are set, so here we go. Arlington 1st and 10 to begin the second half, leading 21-14.
John, one more acknowledgement from the presentation of the scores around the area. Scoreboard report is presented by Ika Signs. Thank you, Ika Signs, for sponsoring the halftime scoreboard update.
Out over the ball, Sam Soto. 1st and 10 Colts, shotgun snap. Here's a toss to Max Revere. Revere sideswiped at midfield. Still on his feet, has a couple more yards in the Weatherford 48.
John, the third quarter after that first play there is presented by 1836 Home Inspections. Rooted in Texas pride, 1836 Home Inspections provides peace of mind for one of the most important financial decisions of your life. With comprehensive reporting, same-day report delivery, and cutting-edge technology, you can be assured with a 1836 Home Inspection report. Call 817-382-2111 to schedule your inspection. 1836, your line in the sand.
Gain of 3, 2nd down 7. Here's the inside toss, 45-40, running room down the left sideline, wide open, and a huge gain for Cannon Cambron. Cambron, sophomore, the second carry tonight, and both carries have resulted in huge yardage for the sophomore.
Great to see the younger players getting some live action here, and Cambron really showing out here. Kind of like reminds me of the young man, number 13, last week for the Longhorns. Hamilton making some good connections with Arch Manning. We'll see what he does tomorrow against UTEP.
He's a good 1st and 10 at the 26. Cameron, one of 3 sophomores for Coach Peach this year. Ravens, play action, has it loaded up, going deep down the left side towards the zone, and caught.
Mason Brown gets under that lofting pass by Coleman Cravens and puts the Colts on the board quickly here to open the second half of play.
So Cravens with his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. And the Colts with a short drive of 52 yards on the board first here in the second half. Playing out for the PAT. Spotted up and booted through.
Your new score, Colts 28, Kangaroos 14. We'll step aside and take a short break. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
I think I did the classic drive. Welcome back to live action here. Classic Chevrolet bringing your Classic South Drive summary for that play. Next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Gotti Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference. That scoring drive started on the Colts 49, covered 52 yards in only 3 plays. That long pass from Coleman Cravens to Brown for the touchdown. Your Classic South Drive summary.
How about a 1-minute drive?
I go for that. That's a short little drive, Yanni.
1 minute. Huge run by Cannon Cameron set up the score. Deep kickoff and handled at the 4 backpedaling, crossing the 10, 15, 20. And out to the 21-yard line is Jacob Hill with a marker down.
We'll have to see what that marker is as he was stopped right about the 20-yard line. Keep an eye on the referee here and see what they call. 2 markers on the field right now, likely for the same call. Big, lively crowd here at UTA Stadium tonight, John.
A nice opening week crowd for the Mesquite game. Nice one here tonight.
Call is holding against the Kangaroos on the play. That'll move them back from starting position on the about the 20 from the spot of the foul. Moves all the way back to the 9-yard line, John.
The penalty occurring, as Doug said, right at the 20, half the distance. 1st and 10, Weatherford at the 9, their first possession of the second half. Gunnar Kennedy, the junior quarterback, he'll hand it off over the right side, breaking 1 tackle and almost breaking 2 out to the 15-yard line. DJ Quimby. I mentioned last week that Quimby had 35 carries, a couple of touchdowns, averaged 9 yards per carry. And the main running back this year for the Kangaroos picks up 6, second down 4.
It'd be very interesting to know exactly what the running stats are for Quimby tonight. Unfortunately, Dallas Morning News is not covering this ball game tonight, so we weren't able to bring you specific statistics from either team.
They're missing a pretty good game.
They are.
Imp Hill, the inside receiver from the 15. Second down 6. Quimby, left guard, stacked up at the 19. Close to the line to gain for another Weatherford first down.
Just about where they started after that kickoff before the penalty yardage was marked off. But again, we've got a steady diet of running back Quimby here to start the second half for the Roos.
It is enough, 1st and 10 Weatherford. Given the yardage needed, Arlington with 4-3-4 defensive alignment. Motion. Kennedy pump fakes, looking left. Has time. Over the middle. And just overshoots Jacob Hemphill into double coverage at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough catch for Hemphill anyway with the coverage that he had on him and the fact that Kennedy has already thrown 2 interceptions tonight. He may have been a little more tentative on that particular pass.
Second and 10 from the 19. 28-14. Colts on top, trying to go to 3-0 this year. Weatherford with a loss to open the year at LD Bell, and last week defeating Azel. From the 19. Handoff, Quimby now angles back towards the middle. Started out over the right, had to readjust, took it back right up the middle, and is tackled at the 26.
Luis Mendoza in on the tackle for the Colts in that play. If you were listening to the Colt conversation during halftime, you heard Coach Peach mentioning the linebacker for the Colts doing such a good job for us this year. And John, we've called this young man's name several times tonight.
They need 3 on 3rd down. Empty backfield. Kennedy looking, pursuit from the backside, and it's dropped.
That's number 57 for the Colts, Robert Sessi, in on the quarterback sack on that play. He came across from that left edge, got into the backfield, and dropped Kennedy for a big loss. And that's going to bring up a 4th down punt for the Kangaroos.
Sessi, a senior, with tonight's first sack of Cutter Kennedy. So the Colts have held on Weatherford's first possession. Max Revere is standing close to midfield.
Yeah, Colts are due to get good field position again here for their second drive.
Isaiah Dowd in punt formation. Able to get rid of it. Very, very high and short. And sailing out of bounds at about the 45.
All right, as we transition from Colt defense to Colt offense, we'll step aside and visit some of our sponsors here. This is High School Football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Back to the Colts' second offensive possession of the second half, and they get the ball in great field position, John, at the Kangaroo 42.
Short punt and a short field for Coleman Craven. At the 42, here's the sweep to the 35 and maybe to the 33. Running room for Jackson Nelson over the right side.
It's interesting, Jackson Nelson has a designated tight end position on the chart, but he's been doing a lot of running on those sweeps tonight and very effective.
Nelson, a junior, won a 34 this year for the Colt varsity. 41 seniors and 3 sophomores.
One of those 3 sophomores making big impact tonight, too.
They need 2 on second and short. Receivers wide left for Cravens. Veer in the backfield, the fake to Revere. Cravens will sprint out to the right. He will have the first down and is ushered out of bounds at the 31.
John, we're talking about those sophomores on the varsity team. We've also got a new crop of freshmen coming up, and our title sponsor, John Wade Jr., has a young man on that freshman team, William, who is making an impact, number 16 for the Colt freshmen. And the Colt freshmen are 3-0 so far this year.
Good start for the underclassmen.
Bodes well for the future of Colt football.
You know, John Wade, he coached the Optimus Highlanders.
Yep.
For a decade, he was a Highlander head coach for 10 years. At the 32, Burton, motion. It's a handoff. Burton trying to squeeze out some yardage and is bottled up. Now breaks a tackle, and Burton surges ahead close to the 23.
I like the way he just keeps trying. He doesn't just fold and give up on first contact. He bounces off a man, takes a different move, jogs left, jogs right, and he did what looked like was a busted play. He picks up some good yardage there.
Close to 9 yards. He'll give him 8. Spotted at the 24. Approaching the halfway mark in quarter number 3, 28-14, Arlington on top. From the 24. Short side right. Revere gets a toss from Cravens. Revere has the first down and is stacked up at the 20. Mark his forward progress at the 20. It's a gain of 4 and a Colt first down.
Big group tackle there by the Kangaroo defense. It took more than 2 or 3 of them to bring Revere down on that play. That'll move the sticks as the Colts will go 1st and 10 from the Kangaroo 20.
Touchdowns tonight. Jamar Burton with 2, Max Revere with 1. A touchdown catch by Caden Brown. In the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 20. Sideline right, open field left for Coleman Cravens. Senior quarterback play action, looking right, now looking towards the end zone, has a receiver and just overshoots a streaking Jamar Burton.
Bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Colts offense here. Knocking on the door. Current score, Colts 28, Kangaroos 14. See if Coach Peach can come up with a good play here and keep this drive going.
Alex Moore, one of the receivers, comes out. Revere in, as well as a sophomore, Cannon Cameron.
Revere's coming to the sideline now.
He's out too. 2nd and 10.
Aiden Wilson in motion. Here's a toss to the near side. Jamar Burton. Jamar Burton skates to the 19. Not much, only a yard. Nose dive tackle by Cade Burleson of Weatherford, the defensive right end. Burleson of Weatherford. Not that far apart.
Got a little.
Not that far apart. Alex moves. Really throttled tonight. Top Hill. District opener next week. Halls right here. 3rd and 9 for the Colts at the 19 of Weatherford. Empty back. Cravens looking. Quarterback draw. Cravens runs to the 15. Runs to the 10. Runs to the 5. And Cravens out of bounds at 1st and goal.
Great run there. Pulling guards, number 71 and 64 on that play for the Colts. Leading the way on that play and opened up a whole bunch of running lane for Coleman Cravens to pick up that first down and get the Colts down to the 5-yard line.
From the 5 at the left hash mark, Colts on top, 28-14. Going for more here in quarter number 3. Max Revere in the backfield. The slot back is William Nelson to the left. Revere in motion. Cravens will keep it. He will run and gain not much, maybe a half a yard.
Yeah, a little misdirection play there as they had Revere going out to the left side in the flat. Everybody kind of thought it was going to be a toss to Revere, and Coleman took it to the right on his own.
Nice recognition by Cade Burleson of Weatherford on the tackle. Actually, no gain at all. 2nd and goal right at the 5. Burton, Brown, one of the 3 receivers wide left. Short field, 2nd and goal from the 5. Craven slaps his hands, gets his pass from center, looking towards the end zone, throws, caught, touchdown, Revere. 5 yards, Max Revere.
Great play they called there. Revere was virtually all by himself. The closest defender was about 5 yards off, and Revere gets the easy score there for the Colts as the band strikes up Sons of the White and Green here on Homecoming 2025. Extend the lead, and the point after touchdown attempt coming up now by Ling.
2nd touchdown pass in the quarter for Cravens. Extra point is right between the uprights, and the Colts have extended the lead now.
We'll take a little break as we transition here. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Live action here. Mr. Ling set to kick this one off to the Kangaroos with a 35-14 lead. I'm going to kick it back to John Nelson.
Well, he's ready. The voice holds up here in the 2nd half. Caught at the 3-yard line on the kickoff return. Here come the Kangaroos close to the 20. And a kickoff return of 16 yards for Jacob Hemphill, junior wide receiver.
You know, John, the Colts special team unit has been playing very well tonight, dropping the Kangaroos behind the 20-yard line for the last couple of kickoffs, while the Colts have had great field position on offense starting about midfield both possessions.
A couple of nice drives, 52 and 58 on the scoring here in the 3rd quarter for the Colts. Get them mark it at the 19-yard line. Second possession for Weatherford. Motion in the line, no flags.
Yep, there is a
There's
flag.
one. Kennedy and airs it out. Overshoots his man at midfield, and he's down. That's Curbo.
It'll be a 5-yarder on the Colt defense. Late flag came out after the play was well in motion.
Receiver shaken up as he hit the ground. That was last year's quarterback, Brooks Curbo, who's a wide receiver this year. Appears to be okay. So the 5-yard penalty gives it to the Kangaroos, needing 5. First and 5 from the 24. Straight ahead handoff. Quimby trying to bounce to the outside. He does, and dragged down at the 34.
Boy, that was a crucial ankle tackle there by the Colt defense at the last second. Quimby had a lot of green space in front of him if he had broken that tackle.
Quimby, no doubt, Doug, tonight over 100 yards. I mean, that's probably a given. Has scored from a yard out tonight. Colts on top, 35-14. First and 10, Roos from their own 34. Cutter Kennedy rolls right, throws on the run, and overshoots Hemphill at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kennedy, that's been a theme for tonight. He's been overshooting those runners. That was a fairly safe pass to the outside edge, and just led him a little bit too much on that route.
Cutter Kennedy, junior quarterback, 6'5" and 230. Size, good speeds, but off a little bit. Receivers have been wide open.
You know, it's still early in the season, like you said earlier in the halftime. This is essentially the second game of the season, and they're still working on that chemistry.
See if they can bottle things up, and
they just need to run Quimby.
33. Kennedy throws over the middle, caught wide open. Hemphill to midfield, and a first down. Jacob Hemphill, junior to junior, on the pass and catch.
Finally brought down by senior defensive back Dermot Cunningham on the play. But the ball is resting right on the 50-yard line, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a timeout due to a player injury. So we'll step aside while they tend to the young man and visit one of our sponsors. This is High School Football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back to live action here as the player who made the play for the defense is the one that was actually injured and coming off on his own power, Dermot Cunningham. It's always a good sign. It looked like it was cramping, didn't it, John? The way the trainers were stretching him out right there on the Arnold's egg.
Yeah, they had him stretch out. He apparently had some feeling back and walks off unattended, which, as you said, is a good sign. Dermot Cunningham, a senior. So for the moment, he's out. And Weatherford scrimmages from the 50-yard line. First and 10, down 35-14. 3:48. Clock rolling here in quarter number 3. From midfield. And here is a sweep play to the 45, maybe to the 44-yard line. Gain of 5+ yards for wide receiver Robert Mask.
Seniors made quite a few plays tonight. Does Mask key part of the offense as this Quimby and Kennedy?
Holmes trying to avenge a homecoming loss last year at Choctaw to Marcus. Different story this season from the 44. Second and short. Kennedy, and he'll hand it off. Running room right side, 40, and scampering out of bounds for another Weatherford first down. Well, they get to the corner pretty quick, don't they?
Well, Quimby bounced right off of the first Colt defender and was able to just rumble for those extra yards after that. It's just going to take more than one man to bring this running back down.
Quimby, like Jamar Burton, runs well to the outside, tough running inside the tackles. First and 10 Kangaroos from the Arlington 36. Connor Kennedy throws down the left side, and wide open at the 9-yard line was Jacob Hemphill, but Hemphill had to do kind of a bow.
Yeah, it was underthrown,
but bow at the waist, well short.
There seemed to be some kind of broken coverage there by the Colt defense. Fortunate that Kennedy underthrew that ball.
Well, it was broken coverage, and Arlington fought fortunate.
Ball moved over to the right hash now, the near side hash, as we get ready for the second down and 10 play.
Stops the clock with just under 3 minutes to go in the third from the 36. Second and 10. Quimby, 30. Quimby stiff arms the defender and has a first down. Throw it down at the 29. He just moves Shema Davis away. Just get away.
Yeah, one of those direct snaps to him once again. That play usually has good success for the Roos so far at the ballgame. 4-yard line now. It's first and 10.
Trying to get on the board here in the third quarter. Colts led 21-14 at the break. Scored twice here in the third. A 24-yard line, first and 10. Quimby into the center of the line. Has yardage to the 19. Picked up a 5. He had 35 carries last week, and Doug tonight approaching 25.
He is a workhorse for this team, and rightfully so. That man has some good talent.
Brennan Bell in the backfield. Bell has carried the ball twice. And wide right is Robert Mask. Second and 5 at the Arlington 19. Bell in motion. Kennedy looks that way. He'll keep it. Heads up the middle. And still on his feet. And Kennedy stacked up at the 15.
Close to a first down on that run, but I'm not sure he got there. It looks like he may be a foot short.
Tough to bring down at 6'5" and 230. He's a locomotive in trousers.
Yeah, he sure is.
Right at the 15.
Third down and a foot. I say draw to Kimby.
Now let's see. Bell is now, no, that's okay. It's Kennedy, and here's Quimby, and Quimby runs right into the pile, stacked up of the 11, but he has a first down. This drive started at the 19. Approaching the 1-minute mark here in the third. It's first and goal. They spotted at the 9. From the 9-yard line, first and down. Quarterback Cutter Kennedy. They'll give it to Bell. Bell, 5, 4, 3, 2, almost untouched. Yeah. Scampers 9 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah, great hole opened up on the left side for the Kangaroo offensive line. Allowed Bell to just virtually walk through that hole into the end zone.
So Weatherford able to taste success here in the third quarter. It's now 35-20. And a man down for Weatherford at the 10-yard line. Just now picking it up, Doug, and
yeah,
they've got him stretched out at the 10.
Looks like they're ready to get him back on his feet. We'll stay right here during this injury break. Spot who they're helping off the field there, number 34 for the Kangaroos. Harrison McMillan, the junior tight end, walking off virtually under his own power.
On the PAT attempt, Isaiah Dow. Out of the hold of Brooks Kerbo.
Snap from center. It's pulled down by the holder. And extra point is true and through, and the Weatherford Kangaroos have cut the lead now to 35-21.
Let's step aside and take a short break here as we transition back to your Colt offense. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the ZAP network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com. Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster, no hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
After the Kangaroos score that touchdown to draw within 14 of the Colts, who's ready to kick off here with Revere and Burton falling deep for the Colts back to the 10-yard line.
Ethan Alvarez will kick off, a senior. Alvarez is the backup quarterback. It's a short, compressed kick and caught out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
That's the worst field position the Colts
Oh, not
have.
Alvarez. I beg your pardon, Doug. It was Isaiah Dowd, and the Colts have it as it was caught out of bounds.
This is the worst field position the Colts offense has started with in the second half. But we have seen some very methodical drives due to the play calling of Coach Beach and the play of his offensive unit. Starting here at about the 25-yard line. Let's see what the Colts can produce for us here in this drive.
That Weatherford drive, 81 yards.
That one was very methodical, too. Good mixture of passing and running.
Arlington has it first and 10 at their own 25. Moving from right to left here in the fourth quarter. It's a handoff. Burton, Jamar Burton, 25, 30. Jamar Burton out to the 35 and has yardage out to the 37.
I'm going to stop the clock here as we move the chains. About 35, 36 seconds left here in the third quarter. I keep trying to move this one along.
By all means, if you have the power, exert it.
Good run there by Burton to start this drive off.
On the 37, the offensive line is set. Eli Holbrook, Soto, and Caleb Ladd. Chris Burns also in there. From the 37, Max Revere looking for an avenue. Almost lost the football. Is shoved forward over the 40, and Revere out to the 43-yard line.
Boy, John Revere made something out of nothing on that play.
He did.
Two defenders were waiting for him to cross the line of scrimmage, and he still picked up about 3-4 yards.
And that draws to a close, quarter number 3.
All right, we'll take a break here and go visit some more of our sponsors who we appreciate so much. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of action here from UT Arlington's Maverick Stadium, back where it seems like it's home sweet home for the Colts. And we want to remind you that the fourth quarter is presented by Modern West Windows and Doors. See the difference their portfolio can make on your home by visiting their showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth. or by going to modernwestwindows.com to explore their inventory online. Modern West Windows bringing you tonight's fourth quarter homecoming action.
Both teams coming off of wins. Arlington overall 2-0, Weatherford 1-1. Colts have it. They scrimmage from their own 43. And second down, leading right at 5. Freeman starts a man in motion, will hand it off to Max Revere, and Revere is double teamed at the 46. Be a couple of yards short.
Third down for the Colts here as Norman Cravens looks to the sideline for the next play call.
Arlington has won the last 5 games in this series. Third and a long yard or a short 2, however you want to look at it. Revere to the left of Fragrance. Open field to the right. Arlington moving from left to right here in the quarter. Burton is the motion man. It's a keeper, and Cravens is stood up and is short. He was drilled by Bowl. 6 for Weatherford. Hard nose tackle by Brennan Bell.
He actually lost a yard on that play, it looks like.
They scooted back closer to the 45.
Oh, the Colts are going to trot the punting unit out.
All right, fourth down, and they'll bring on Ling. He's a punter. Ling standing at his own 35.
They're anticipating a fake on this, John. Look how close. There's no deep man. Let's see what happens with Coach Beach here. Does he pull one out of his hat? Nope, he calls a timeout.
Nobody drifted back deep in return posture for Weatherford, so a timeout taken here.
We'll step aside during this timeout. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back to live action here on Homecoming Night 2025 as the Colts take a timeout before this fourth down play. The Kangaroos looked like they were expecting a fake punt as they had nobody deep and all their linebackers and defenders drawn up towards the line of scrimmage. Coach Beach calls a timeout. Let's see what they talked about, John.
Oh, nobody back deep again. Nobody back deep for the attempted punt coming up for Arlington. Here's Ling standing at his 35, and he will unload. Nobody back deep. It's an end-over-end punt. It hits at the 20, takes a cold roll of about 6 more yards, takes a right-hand turn, and goes out of bounds near the 14.
All right, we'll step aside during the transition here. Another visit to our commercial sponsors. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Live action here as the Kangaroos take over deep in their own territory. There was no fake punt on the board there that time, so Pierce Ling had an open field to drop that one deep, and the Weatherford Roos will start this drive from, looks like about their 15-yard line.
They had first spotted it at the 13, but now a complete stoppage in play. The referee, is he okay?
The referees are just talking about something at midfield, and they're going over to talk to the Weatherford coach. They're hollering back across the field at Coach Peach. 2 down with Coach Peach on the near side. And he's talking to his offense. Here's the referee. So it's an illegal shift by the Arlington Special Teams Unit. They're going to add 5 yards onto the end of the kick to Weatherford, and they'll be starting in a little bit better position than they initially thought they would have. The ball was down at about the 15th. They're going to be moving that ball up to the 17-yard line to start this offensive series, John.
Weatherford in the second half has started drives from their own 9, their own 19, and now right about the 18. They've had to go long distance. That score of 81 yards earlier in the half. 1st and 10 from the 18, direct snap. Here's Quimby right up the gut, and Quimby has yardage over the 25.
Colt defense just has not figured out how to stop Mr. Quimby.
Gains 8 yards. DJ Quimby, junior, has a touchdown tonight. 35-21. Arlington with a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter. Weatherford with 1. From the 26, low snap. Kennedy pokes it up, throws out to the short side, caught first down, wide open. Jacob Hemphill. Hemphill with a down and out pattern.
Right at the 34-yard line. Picks up a good chunk of yardage there for the Roos as they move the sticks.
They'll spot it at the 34. That's where he did step out of bounds. So Hemphill and Mask stay in. They will go wide right. DJ Quimby in the backfield, wide left, Bryant Davis. Quimby up the middle. And Quimby crosses the 35, taken down at the 36-yard line.
Good move on the Colt defense, collapsing on Quimby that time and holding just a handful of yards. I mean, picking up chunks of yards, 7, 8, 9 at the time.
Averaged 9 yards a carry last week. It went over Asia. It's a gain of 2, second down 8. At the 36, Kennedy takes a snap, fires, rifles a pass, and caught at midfield. That's Bryant Davis. Boy, that was a John Elway pass.
It was.
That had some zip on it.
Got there in a hurry. Brought down by number 32, Nate Hall, for the Colt defense. But not before another first down. The Roos are on the march.
And the Colt territory at the 48. Another pass, swing pass right side. Not much. Jacob Hemphill with a couple of yards on the catch.
Jacob Hemphill on the catch. Jacob Batiste on the defense, pushing him out of bounds. No gain on that play.
And the linesman across the way, his foot right at the 48, so 0 pickup. Second and a dime. Inside receiver to the near side is Bryant Davis. 2 receivers bunched up to the right. Have a man in motion. That's Hemphill. Dakota Kennedy scrambles. He looks. He throws. It is caught at the 30. Hemphill making the catch in front of the Colt defender, A.J. Payne. First down, Weatherford. So they move the chains. It's at the Arlington 32. I would imagine, Doug, that Weatherford, any chance they have, will go tempo and try to get these plays off as quick as possible. Down 35-21 from the Colt 32. DJ Quimby, right side, running room 25, and brought down as he somersaults to the 24. He was hit low, but kept moving those knees.
You know, that may be the way to bring him down.
Yeah,
Go low.
exactly.
Trying to tackle him up around the shoulders is not terribly effective right now.
They need 3 yards for a first down. Kennedy, here's a rush up the middle to the end zone. Wide open, caught, touchdown. Jacob Hemphill. Touchdown Weatherford, their second touchdown here in the half.
This is eerily reminiscent of last year's comeback, but it's flipped this year. Closing the gap to 7 points here is making me just a little bit nervous, John.
They scored right at the end of the third. They score here in the fourth with just under 8 minutes to play. Extra point attempt is just, no, he missed it wide left. He missed it to the outside of the left upright, and the extra point no good.
That could be critical later on. Let's take a little break here in between transition between offense and defense. This is high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Coming back to live action here as the Kangaroos draw ever closer to the Colts. It's 35-27 after the Roos missed the point after touchdown attempt. That 1 point could come back to haunt them.
Well, Doug, the Colts are on top, but what looks bad are the drives. Weatherford going 81 and now 82 yards, just shredding the Arlington defense.
This kick is going to go to Burton on the near side. He's going to bring it out.
Jamar 15, Jamar 20. Jamar crosses the 25, breaks into the open area down the right sideline, and is walloped out of bounds near midfield.
Fantastic run back by Jamar Burton there up the near sideline here. Sets the Colt offense up in great field position to start this drive. Midway through this third quarter with 7:43 left in the third quarter.
Took a hard hit out of bounds near midfield, but the Colts in great position here, leading 35-27. They got a spotted just over midfield, so it's out to Weatherford 49. Okay, that's where they have it on the 49.
Yep, nose of the ball just into Weatherford territory. Let's see what Coleman, Cravens, and company can do here to answer the Kangaroo touchdown.
Colts led 21-14 at the break. And here we go, survival of the fittest here.
That's true.
7:43 left to play from the Weatherford 49. Coleman Cravens, he will hand off to Max Revere. Wide open running room up the middle, has 10-15. Mark it off at 21 yards on the gain.
Finally brought down by Brennan Bell, the senior linebacker for the Kangaroos, but not before a huge chunk of yardage picked up by Max Revere.
A nice first down run by Max Revere, the senior, has a rushing touchdown this year, has one tonight. It's spotted at the 28. Gain of, like I said, 21 yards on the pickup. So here's Cravens from the shotgun. He will hand off to Revere again. Not this time. Revere hit first by William Merritt and then finished off by one of the outside linebackers.
Looked like the very same play as the one before, John. Same direction, over the same left side of the line. Not the same yardage pickup.
Gain of a couple, second down 8. In with the play is tight end William Nelson. So he has a play from Scott Peach, Burton, and Kason Brown, a wide left. Arlington scrimmaging from the Kangaroo 26. It's a sweep. It's Burton, Jamar Burton, to the 20, and is pancaked at the 18.
Very close to another first down. We'll see where the referees spot it.
They need to get right at the 18. it's a yard short.
Yeah, that was a right-footed spot on that one.
It was a right. Yeah.
It's going to be third down and a foot here.
3rd and a yard from the Weatherford 19-yard line. Under 6 minutes to play, 5:51. Arlington on top, 35-27.
Tom, that sweet play to Burton has been quite effective all evening. It's been fun to watch.
Okay, Burton is wide left. And hold everything. A
timeout.
Timeout taken by the Colts.
Important down here for the Colts. They're going to talk about it. We'll step aside for a moment while they do so. This is high school football on ZAP. Presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Coming back out of that timeout are the Colts. And, John, we wanted to mention to the Colt Nation that that's the second timeout this half. Colts only have one timeout left in this ball game.
Was that a John Wade commercial?
No, it wasn't. It was an Eka Signs commercial, so it's a warning sign.
I got to mention John Wade, class of 77, one of this year's distinguished Colts, who will be honored tomorrow at the open house at the high school. If I remember correct, he wore number 30. You know, Blake Wade. Blake also played for the Colts in the 90s. From the 19-yard line, Max Revere has a first down and is taken down at the 16. So the play over left guard results in a Colt first down.
Left guard for the Colts is Mr. Soto. I always like to give a shout out to the big men on the line because they make things happen.
Well, the offensive line controls the game. I mean, controls the entire game.
Well, they gave Cravens that 5 to 7 seconds in the pocket right
They sure
before
did.
the half.
Yeah.
There was just no penetration. That pocket stayed intact. Good work by the big men.
From the 16, first and down Colts. Revere and Cravens in the backfield. Here's Revere looking for an open spot, and Revere is taken down at the 17. Lost some yardage in the backfield. Fisher Young, defensive back, senior on the tackle. Colts spoiling the Weatherford homecoming last year, and Colts trying to stave off Weatherford tonight to win homecoming 2025.
Got a nice little drive going here. Want to see them finish it to completion in the end zone here. Give us a little more breathing room headed to the fourth quarter.
Started from their own 49.
Oh, that great run by Burton caught the ball on the goal line, made it all the way up to midfield.
Second, and just over 10 yards needed. Burton now to the left of Cravens. A fake to Burton. Coleman looking. He scampers. He runs. Craven still has it at the 15 and runs out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Colts with just one timeout remaining. We're under 4 minutes to go. It's a 1st and 10. Or check it, third and 10. Third and about 8.
Third and long.
Yeah.
For the Colts. I'm not sure if they're in field goal range yet. We may get the chance to see that.
They need to get to the 6 for a first down.
Let's do that first.
Okay, let's see.
Let's put in the 9-yard play.
Revere in tight to the left is William Nelson. On third and about 8, and Cravens is sacked. The rush from the outside led by Xavier Oliveras. Is that the first sack tonight? Cravens.
First sack on Cravens.
Yeah.
Colts have had one. Now they've got Cadillac Galindo in the backfield as well. Now we'll see the range for the field goal attempt by Mr. Ling coming out on the field.
They're taking You taking a full timeout here?
I heard a timeout called. So while they're taking a timeout before the field goal attempt here, we'll take a timeout to visit our sponsors. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistic Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pickup so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistic Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
Coming back from that timeout play, it was a Weatherford timeout, so they're down to 2 more left in the game. Colts still have 1 left in the game. They call a little timeout, John, probably to get their defense ready for this field goal attempt here. Coleman Cravens is the spotter. He's the holder.
This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt by Pierce Sling, moved in from Aledo last year. From 38 yards out, the kick is up. It's on its way, and it is good. Pierce Sling connects from 38 yards out. It is now 38-27, which is still, Doug, a 1-possession game.
Yes, sir. That is a major league field goal. We'll step aside. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Coming back from that timeout, we bring you the Classic South Drive summary. Next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Colts started on their own 49 after that huge Burton run back from the kickoff. Took them 8-9 plays and resulted in a Ling field goal to run the score up to Colts 38 and the Kangaroos 27.
All right, here's Ling will kick off the Weatherford. The Kangaroos have 2 timeouts to work with. The return men standing at the 5, whether they receive it's another question. The last 2 kickoffs have been one of those directional compressed jobs by Ling. So 5 on either side. That's the nice alignment and hold everything. Stoppage. The Colts, if they took a timeout, it's their last one. They're out of timeouts.
Out of timeouts in the fourth quarter and 3:48 to go. We'll step aside during this timeout and visit another one of our sponsors. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Buying a vehicle can be overwhelming. That's why Yadi Pagan at Classic Chevrolet has created a guide to car buying to help ensure you make the right choice. Classic South has a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, and Yadi will put all his energy to make sure you get the best deal possible. Call 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
Coming back to live action here as the Colts special team unit trots back on the field after that timeout before the kickoff. That's the last Colt timeout, John. 3:48 left in the ball game, and the Colts are out of timeouts.
So they'll do it again. Pierce, well, they'll do it for the first time after the field goal, but Ling now steps it off. Back deep is Jacob Hemphill to one side, Robert Mask the other side. They're both near the 10-yard line. Here's the approach by Ling. And it is a short kick and very, very short, trying to come up with it. It's loose. It may have bounced off of the Kangaroos to a Colt defender, and Arlington signaling they have it.
We'll have to wait for the official referee signal, which we don't have quite yet. They're going to come together about the 30-yard line and discuss it.
One of the near men for Weatherford was Adrian Arvello.
Let's see what the referee says here.
No question, it went the distance. It stayed in the field of play.
Recovered by Arlington. Colt football.
So the Colts recover the kickoff and will take over. 3:40 to go. How about that? Scott Peach calling timeout. They're Sling did what he had to do. And they recover their own kick.
Did it look like an onside kick attempt?
Not really.
Or did it look like a squibber into the no man's land, which he's done before in the game, but this time it just happened to bounce off a roof, and the special teams unit was on top of it.
So the Colts take over at the Weatherford 32, and they're not quite ready. Either team.
I don't think the Weatherford coach is very happy about that decision. He's out there talking to the lead referee right now on the far side.
I don't think the Colts were offside on the kickoff. I didn't see a flag thrown. It looked pretty good, pretty clean.
Yeah, the Weatherford head coach is gesturing as if there were some men out of position.
He's pointing up to us. He said, we made the wrong call. He's looking to the, he's looking to the booth.
No, he didn't like that joke about the ball bouncing off the roofs. Bouncing roofs. Nevertheless, it looks like it's going to stay with the Colts here. The Weatherford coach's protest fell on deaf ears as the Room defense comes back out. Coach Peach gets ready to send out his offensive unit again.
District opener for the Colts right here next week against the Halton Buffaloes. San Houston home to South Grand Prairie, Bowie at Grand Prairie, and Martin at Lamar. That's the district opening bill for next week.
Just getting started in this young, exciting season for 8-6A. Love it.
Couple of first downs and would bode well. First and 10 Colts. Here's Jamar Burton. Jamar Burton slides to the 24-yard line.
You know, Burton just has good vision, John. He sees those holes open up. He sees those little seams, and he takes advantage of them.
First down run of 8 yards for the homecoming king this year.
Yeah, the king. King Burton. Love it.
Gain of 8.
That sweep is really working well for the Colts offense tonight.
Clock moving. 3:05 to go. Colts trying to go to 3-0 on the year. Win their 6th game in a row over Weatherford. The 24. Max Revere. Revere trying to get to the outside is hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he didn't pick up much on that one. The Kangaroo defense met him right at the line of scrimmage and pushed him back on that one for no gain. So it'll be third down and 2 here for the Colt offense.
Kenneth Mower with a nice stop, the linebacker, the junior. Inside of 2.5 minutes.
Rear coming off this play.
Touchdown passes in the second half.
It's like Burton will be in the backfield with Coleman Cravens. Sorry, Johnny.
Kate Brown, Revere, and Ling to score. All right, 3rd and 2 from the Weatherford 24, and whistles blow as soon as Cravens got the shotgun snap.
Play of game. Interesting. Coach Peach has his hands on his hips. Expressing some slight frustration there and letting the clock run out. Turning that into a 3rd and 2 and making it a 3rd and 7.
Weatherford with 1 timeout left, 2:02 to go in the game.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning here.
Max Revere is in for Cannon Campbell at the 29-yard line. 3rd and 7. Cravens will throw. It's caught at the 25. And that is the tight end, Keelan Wilson. Timeout Weatherford. Keelan Wilson catching a touchdown ball in the opener this year, right here against Mesquite.
All right, during the 2-minute warning timeout, we'll step aside and visit some more of our sponsors here tonight. This is high school football on Snap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Buying a vehicle can be overwhelming. That's why Yadi Pagan at Classic Chevrolet has created a guide to car buying to help ensure you make the right choice. Classic South has a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, and Yadi will put all his energy to make sure you get the best deal possible. Call 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
Coming back to live action here with the Colts on the march after that turnover on the kickoff. I want to mention that number 71, Taylor, has checked into the game here at right tackle, putting a fresh body in there on the head-to-head battle going on in the trenches there.
It's 4th and 2 for the Colts at the 24. Weatherford lines up. They show a 3-man front. It's a 3-4-4. And Revere comes out, and Keelan Wilson back in, number 81, the tight end.
4th down play the Colts are going for here.
4th and 2. Ravens takes a snap, rolls, he throws on the run and connects at the 17-yard line with Jackson Nelson. Nelson on the receiving end and a first down.
First down reception, stumble out of bounds, keeps this drive alive for the Colts and kills a little bit more time. We're down to 1:52 left in this homecoming 2025 ballgame.
It was 35-21 at the end of the third quarter. And it looks pretty good here with a 1st and 10. You have it at the 19, I spotted at the 17.
New quarterback in for the Colts, number 16, Ethan Alvarez.
Alvarez is a senior. He will turn, you will give it into the belly of the running back who was shoved back about 3 yards. That's
running back number 6 there is Christian Moore.
Moore, a junior.
Coach Peach giving some of the secondary players some live action here in tonight's ball game.
Minute 37 to go in the game.
Oh, got a little timeout here. Let's step aside and take another look at some of our advertisers that we value so greatly here on Zach Arnold Productions. This is high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
Back to live action here as the Colts have 1st and 10, heading towards the end zone and possibly a cap on this ball game. We need to put this one on ice, John.
I love that short possession pass to Nelson. Nothing fancy, just get rid of it for about 5 yards. And it worked to perfection. On the 22-yard line, quarterback draw and hit hard. Ethan Alvarez goes down hard. Loses yardage near the 27-yard line.
Yeah, we've got some other backup linemen in there. Jordan Paris is in the ball game now. 79 is in the ball game. Adrian O'Green.
It's 3rd and 15. Kangaroos out of timeouts. And at 13 to go. All at the Weatherford Kangaroo 27-yard line. 3rd and 15. Alvarez, he'll hand it off over the left side, running room 20. To the 19. That's Christian Moore, the junior, on the handoff.
Gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage.
Inside of a minute. Kangaroos can't stop it. Now one more play will do it.
Do we do
another field goal by Ling, or just
I think you
do the sportsmanlike thing and just run another play?
You take as much time as possible. Maybe take a 5-yard penalty. Maybe give up the 5 yards, but you're still leading by 8 points. So Arlington out over the ball on 4th down and 10. They get the playoff. It's a Alvarez pass to the end zone. It is short right at the feet of, tell who that was, Doug, in the end zone.
No, he's coming back now right there. We got so many new players in the ball game. We need a program. So the Colts turn the ball over on downs there, and with an 11-point lead and 9.4 seconds left, I think this one is pretty well in hand.
It was A.J. Payne, pass intended for the safety on defense, A.J. Payne. But that, in essence, will do it, and the Colts will go to 3-0.
Stay tuned for the John Wade Roofing post-game show, where we'll give you some of our thoughts and recollections on this ball game and look ahead for a little bit. That's the John Wade Roofing post-game show coming up right after the last tick on the clock.
Colts secondary and umbrella coverage. There's a snap from center. It's a running play out over the right side and not much out to the 22-yard line. And that will end it. It ends on a Weatherford running play to the right, as Arlington has now knocked off Weatherford for the last 6 times. They win their homecoming game of 2025, a final score of 35-27.
John, overall, it was a good ball game. Good to get a homecoming win, as always. And as we head into watching the teams shake hands at midfield in a sportsmanlike show, friendly competition, the band blares Sons of the White and Green to celebrate this homecoming win. We're going to head into the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was team MVP in 1976. He also played for TCU and UCA football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy the company has built in the community for over 40 years. Next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. John Nelson, what are your thoughts on this ball game overall as we wrap things up here tonight at UTA Maverick Stadium?
Well, you got to feel pretty good at halftime, leading 21-14. You get the ball to start the second half. You score on your first 2 drives. Weatherford with just 4 possessions in the second half. And then you get the Pierce-Ling 38-yard field goal. You had a lead of 35-14. It became 35-27 after the 3-pointer by Ling. Very impressed with the mix of plays in that fourth quarter.
Well, and I was impressed with the play calling and the execution the entire game. I felt like the Colt offense had well-executed drives throughout the course of the evening. That one drive that just keeps standing out to me that went the length of the field, and it was all running plays. And I think if we're looking for a player of the game, might I suggest Jamar Burton. Homecoming king, but master extraordinaire of that sweep play.
2 touchdowns in the first half, and then some of those were set up by the sophomore Cannon Campbell. How about an alternate player of the game?
Shout out for him too.
A sophomore.
Yeah. And there were some good plays on defense tonight as McDaniel got a pick in the first half. Kennedy for the Kangaroos was really struggling in that first half, but he really caught on fire in the second half. So if I think we're looking ahead, we've got a little bit of work to do on defense, on the pass defense, because that was one thing you noticed in the second half that seemed to allow the Kangaroos to kind of crawl back into this one and get a little bit close. But then, wow, that major league, what I would call a major league field goal kick by Pierce Ling was fantastic. 38 yards at the high school level. That's pretty darn good.
Touchdown passes in the second half from Coleman Cravens to Caden Brown and Max Revere. one of 26, and the other a short lob of 5. But then you got to be concerned on these drives that Weatherford put up in the fourth quarter. Doug, 81 yards and 82 yards.
Well, there was some difficulty with the running back. Quimby, a very talented player, but he was finding holes behind that big offensive line, and he was breaking off big chunks of yardage when he got into the Colts secondary. So there's just a couple of things to still brush up on. It's still early in the season. We start next week with district play against Halton right here at UTA Stadium, and we'll be looking every week. I mean, we know Coach Beach. You know him very well. You'll spend some time talking with him this week, and he's always looking to improve. And there are a couple of things to brush up on and get tighter on as we head into district action. Now, 3-0. Good way to start the season.
And it all begins in earnest, only the games that counts. Next week right here against Halton, kickoff 7 o'clock. Airtime, 22 probably for the pregame?
Yes, sir. We'll be right here bringing you all the live action from Maverick Stadium here. John, let's take a little bit of a look at the scores around the district. Go back, pull them up tonight, and see how everybody else fared tonight as they went through the evening.
Of course, last night you had 2 games last night.
We had 3 last night.
Well, 3.
We had Seguin beating Burleson 21-0, Grand Prairie beating Irving Nimitz 41-27, and Martin beating Mansfield High at 74-47. They hung a 74 on Mansfield. So we've got our win here. We've got South Grand Prairie putting a wallop on Mansfield Legacy. South Grand Prairie won 61-14. Up in Coppell, the other game on the ZAP network, Coppell Cowboys are in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, 47-26. Coppell on top. Over at Horn Stadium, Hanby Stadium in Mesquite, it's the Mesquite Orange Jaguars hanging on 24-21 over Lamar, with the report on Dave Campbell's is the full fourth quarter left. So Lamar's still in that one. And Sam Houston dropped their homecoming game tonight. They're in the process of doing so. They've got 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's Arlington Sam Houston 28, Irving MacArthur 34. And of course, your final score from UTA, Arlington 38, Weatherford 27, and the win for homecoming this year. John, I want to thank you very much as we wrap this up. Folks, anybody who's lived in Arlington for any amount of time knows the memorable voice of John Nelson from the 90s and the great work that you did in Arlington Telecable, all those years bringing you Arlington ISD athletics, and what a privilege it was to have you with us in the booth here tonight.
It continues. It continues thanks to you and Zach and everybody. This is great. I mean, you've put a foothold into, you have a lot of people that listen to these games, and you've made a foothold into the AISD, and of course we're being Colt alums. You know, you do a game with your ears, not your heart.
Yep.
It's hard not to feel good for a homecoming win.
Yes, it's very good, and then to have the 3-0 under your belt heading into district action. So we just really thank you for being here. We're going to have you back some more during the course of the year with all your experience and your knowledge of the game and the history of Arlington ISD athletics. It just brings such a rich flavor to our broadcast, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, that flavor wasn't so rich to begin with. These allergies are still a killer sometimes.
They sure are. So we'll go home and treat the allergies, and we'll bask in the glow of this win tonight for homecoming, and we will be with you again right here next week against the Halton Buffaloes as the Colts will continue their march toward what we hope is a playoff appearance here in the 2025 season. That'll wrap it up. For Doug Arnold on mic, John Nelson on the play-by-play, Patsy Arnold on production, and Daniel on the camera tonight, we bid you a fair adieu. We want to remind you one more time how sweet it is to be in Colt country. Good night, everybody.